Camogie players have won 3-11 to 7 points over Offaly, and of course a great win for young Tom Queally from Kappa, a decent hurler in his time. Tom Queally had a fantastic win in Ascot this afternoon, so good omens for Waterford. Let's hope the next 70 minutes are going to bring even better. Out in the middle of the field, it's Shane O'Sullivan and being partnered by Kevin Moran as many expected. Ball thrown in, game on, 7 minutes to the side. If Waterford can make it back to a Munster final, free from the throw in to Waterford, going to be taken by Tony Brown. Wearing 8, lining out at left half back, Richie Foley right half back, centre back of course Brick Walsh. The free is literally in the middle of the field, about 15 metres in from the sideline. The man to take it, Owen Kelly, seems to have taken a sharp haircut during the week and looking down the white boots as always, taking his time placing it, hitting into the Killeen end, very sparsely populated with Waterford supporters, and Kelly would dearly love to put this one over. Strong breeze blowing into his face, bends, lifts, strikes, catches it well. It looks a clean strike, looks a good shot, it's over the bar. Just 40 seconds gone and Kelly gets the opener. That's the ideal start, Fergal.
Yeah, ideal start, and that's a great strike from Owen Kelly. He's playing into the breeze. That's a great opening free. We said the breeze might be important. Limerick are playing with it in the first half, so let's hope that Waterford can keep the scoreline down in the first half.
Brian Murray with the puck out, down or left, that green and white hooped jersey. Experienced campaigner at this stage, of course. All-star 2 years ago. Pucks it straight down the middle, looking for the direct route. Ollie Moran is under it, goes high, comes off his hand, and now comes Declan Prendergast. Great play by the Ardmore man, gets it away to Shane O'Sullivan. Shane opens the shoulder, sends it long, looking for a big man at the other. Gary Hurling, he has it in his hands, 25 metres out, gets it back to Owen Kelly, 25 metres out from the goal, moving away from goal. Kelly takes his shot and sends it over the bar. Lovely long ball. Hurley showed his height and strength, cut it over Lucy, fed it to Kelly. Kelly sticks it over with the aid of the upright. 2 points, no score. Super score, Kelly. Well done, Gary Hurley.
Yeah, great stuff by Gary Hurley, but I think that's going to be the tactic for today. Shane Sullivan had the ball, he had it loose, and he looked up and he picked out Gary Hurley with a high ball. He didn't just hit it aimlessly. He picked out Gary Hurley with a high ball. Great catch.
2 points, no score. Clouds starting to come over Semple Stadium as Murray sends it straight down the middle again. James Ryan is moving in around the centre for it. Knocked down. Shane O'Sullivan picks up the breaking ball. Good play. Offloads it. Tony Brown. Great to see him back in the half back line as always. Cut off at the other end by Maloney. The man wearing 19 flicks it away towards the middle of the field to the captain Mark Foley. The inspiration Foley. Knocked to the ground, play on, says the referee. Picked up by Dolan O'Grady. Shane O'Sullivan comes in. Into comes Jamie Nagle. Great play by Nagle. And passes to Owen Kelly. 65 metres out. Kelly turns on the sixpence, takes his shot, but it's turning just left and wide. Lovely bit of play there by Nagle. Saw Kelly. Kelly just turned on the sixpence from 65, left and wide. 2 points, no score. Waterford lead.
Yeah, but it's early days, only a couple of minutes gone, but it's certainly been all Waterford. Much better start. Owen Kelly again, great play, under pressure, good shot, very close, just barely wide.
Justin McCarthy, arms folded. No jackets on today, short sleeves, the green-white cap. Davy Fitzgerald likewise, near the 65 metres, arm folded. Down further, Peter Queally, Morris Geary, Dr. Tom Higgins back in action. Mark Rowe might be listening to us out in Florida. Tom Higgins back on the bench. He has his seat here today. He has it in the council as well. From the puck out, broken down by Brick Walsh. Shane O'Sullivan again picking up the breaking ball. Good play by the Ballygunnerman. Drilled it into Milan. First touch for the Muller. Oh, in comes Mark Foley, and the ball just flicks into Foley's hand, flicks it away. Cut off by Brick Walsh, but fails to control it. Ball falls to Paul Brown, the substitute. Gets it onto Niall Moran. Moran still running goalwards. This could be dangerous. Limerick on the attack, 25 metres out. What can they do with it? They hold up possession. They're steadying themselves. James Ryan has it, threads it across, looking for Shaughnessy, looking for a lot from this man today, the Limerick supporters. He turns and twists with the ball, bit of overplay, play on, says the referee. Maloney comes forward from the half back line. This could be dangerous. Maloney still comes forward. He's cut through to the Waterford defence, takes his shot. Oh, well saved by Declan Prendergast and picked up and cleared by Richie Foley. Goal saving stop by Prendergast in the middle of the field. Shane O'Sullivan catches and drives it long in around the 20-metre line. Milana's gone forward, gone inside his mark. Milan takes a shot. Oh, brilliant save by Murray there. Looked a certain goal, but still in play. Back to Jamie Nagle, and Jamie loses possession, and away come the Limerick man. Looked a certain goal, and Murray saves a rasper at one end. Declan Prendergast saved it. Now the ball is at the other end. End-to-end stuff here. Cut off by Declan Prendergast. Out for a line ball. Declan did it at one end, and at the other, Brian Murray saved a certain from Milan.
Yeah, fantastic save by Brian Murray from Milan. Looked like a certain goal. Milan did everything right, but fantastic save. But people were complaining about last week's game. It's been absolutely helter-skelter for the first 5 minutes here. Fantastic start by both teams.
Just show you dry sodden hurlers. You can't beat it. It inspires people. The players were down before and pucking around as this line ball to Limerick is literally on the corner flag, Sarsfield's corner here. Taken in by Paul Brown. Goes a bit too far, covering across at the far corner. Townside, Owen Murphy, that's great play by Murphy. Gets it back to Tony Brown, who's back helping the corner back. Out towards the middle of the field. Jamie Nagle goes high, knocks it down. Picking up the breaking ball is Malumphey. Lining out, looks like now at centre forward. Gets it into Owen Kelly. Owen Kelly 45 metres out, has possession. Flicks it away from Malumphey in space. Gone inside the 45. The captain takes his shot on the run. Call him lieutenant or call him the captain. He sticks it over the bar. Lovely score and great play again by Owen Kelly. Held it up, knocked down by Jamie Nagle. Malumphey ran on to Kelly. Kelly back to Malumphey. Great score, Steve Malumphey.
Great score and great play all the way out. Owen Murphy to Tony Brown out to midfield. Great play all around. Stephen Lumford running onto the loose ball and a great finish.
Great covering by Brown there. He may be pushing on in years, Fergal, but the way he reads the game is special.
Fantastic. He read that game. He was over the far side of the field. He's playing number 7. He was over number 5 clearing that ball.
From the puck out, that man again splits it out of the air. Brown, the man who defies all ages and puts it out over the line. Would you believe he'll be 36 on the 1st of July, but he's playing like a 16-year-old out there, as fit as ever and as keen as ever.
Yeah, he's off to a great start.
Line ball down under us, middle of the field, end-to-end stuff. 5.5 minutes gone. If you've just joined us, Waterford 3 points. Limerick still no score on the board. He's playing with the win. Jim Landers down there, one of the officials on the line, dressed like one of the umpires in Wimbledon, but it's a line ball. O'Grady takes it, a beauty, swings it across for Limerick at the end of the ball. Out comes Murphy, first out to the ball, but faced the hole on the first attempt. Breen tries to pick it up. Did Murphy foul him? Yes, says the referee there. That was a harsh decision on Murphy. He was out first, they got tangled in each other. Breen fell to the ground. Referee says free in. Hard look on Murphy there, but free in for David Breen.
Yeah, you know, those ones, well, you get them some days and they go against you some days as well, but literally that was a clash of legs, you know. In fact, David Breen ran into Owen Murphy as much as Owen Murphy ran into David Breen, and he went down and gave a free. So soft free for Limerick, but it's going to be a certain score.
We spoke about before the game, Andrew Shaughnessy back taking the frees. Moran has been doing duty all year, Niall Moran, and now it's back to the lieutenant, comrade of Stephen Malumphey, the Waterford captain. Can he put it over in his first strike? Ben's lift strikes, 25 minutes out, makes no mistake. Shaughnessy puts Limerick on the scoreboard, 3 points to 1. Interesting to see Shaughnessy taking over, Fergal.
Yeah, I mean, the last day Niall Moran hadn't great success, but to be fair to him, it was very tough conditions, and Shaughnessy, that might give him a bit of confidence too. He was a player who didn't play particularly well the last day. That might give him a little bit of confidence. Waterford
playing from right to left. Clinton pucking out in front of the town end, which is the Limerick end at this stage. From the puck out, Malumphey wins it. Good battling quality by the captain. Tries to drill it into the corner. Ball breaks out. Maloney doing well, wearing 19. Sends it long, a huge long ball inside, looking for Ollie Moran, tackling inside with Declan Prendergast, and Prendergast wins that one, comes out with the ball, drops it out of his hand. It could be dangerous. Back to Ollie Moran, who hasn't the helmet on today. Tony Brown is back to help as well inside the 12-metre line, but the man who snaps it up is the young man, the teenager, Noel Connors. Out to Richie Foley, away comes the Abbey side man, bursting outside of 45, loses possession, loses control, and now he's down on his knees. This could be dangerous, but in taking the breaking ball is Kevin Moran. Good play by the De La Salle man, in to help Foley, and Moran sends a long ball inside. Can Gary hold this one? Tries to control it inside. Can he touch it in? Out comes Murray again, and Murray throws his body on the edge of the square, and the man who picks it up is Damien Reel there. It could have been dangerous there. Again Murray shows bravery, he stops it, looked like a certain goal, and gets the clearance away. Hit back by Kevin Moran, back into the corner, the man covering back, Marco Reardon. End-to-end stuff here as Moran comes in and takes the clearance. 45 metres out now near the sideline from the Limerick goal into his clubmate John Milan, turning and twisting on the 45. Milan takes his shot and Milan sends it over the bar. De La Salle to De La Salle. Moran, a lovely ball in. Milan just stepped out, turned and twisted, and turned his man literally in a knot on the 45 over the bar. Good score, John Milan. Yeah, great score, John Milan. And something we said last week as well, Kieran, to be fair to the Waterford midfielders, half-backs, their distribution of the ball has been excellent. They're very rarely hitting in an aimless ball. That was a great ball in from Kevin Moran. Good bit of play there by Waterford, good interplay, and I like the way nobody gave up there. All the forwards working very hard. The work ethic really stepped up today. 9 minutes gone, Waterford leading 4 points to 1. You listen to our Snow Cream big match from the puck out of Seamus Hickey, takes it on run. Got a good point last Sunday, and he's got a good one today. Good score by Hurler of the Year 2 years ago. Young Hickey made his name in Fitzgibbon Cup and really took that ball on run. Good score, Seamus Hickey. Good response. 4 points to 2. Yeah, very good response from Limerick and from Seamus Hickey. He's a very good player to read the game. Came onto that breaking ball. Simple point over the bar. Hickey being marked by Kevin Moran in the middle of the field. WIT and UL, they've met in Fitzgibbon Cup. Now they're meeting on the biggest stage of all, Munster Championship. From the puck out, Seamus Prendergast wins, falls to his knees but gets on the second attempt. Going away down the sideline, heading down to the Killine end, left hand corner. Olstan flicks the ball across, looking for John Milan. man. Majan snaps it 20 metres out, turning and twisting, loses the ball, gets it on the second attempt, trying to make an angle for himself, takes his shot. Oh, that's a super score, literally from the corner flag, and he punches the air. The crowd on the terraces there saw it at first hand. What a score, Fergal, from the corner flag. Great score, stretching Waterford's lead 5-2.
And he was closed down twice before that. He tried to get his shot in twice before that, closed down on both occasions under huge pressure from Damon Reel. Difficult angle. That's a fantastic score.
Definitely people who missed or who were here last Sunday in torrential rain. We've only 10 minutes gone, but you're really seeing top class hurling. 5-2. So far so good for Waterford. Limerick playing with the strong wind in the first half, but this wind never wins a game for you. From the puck out, a bit of a stalemate there inside the 45. Ball breaks to Niall Moran. First touch for Moran on the run, takes his shot. The man from All score Reach, alma mater of Paul O'Connell. He's had a bad day today in South Africans. Niall Moran hasn't started off well. Just rushed that shot right and wide.
Rushed that shot, to be fair. Tony had him under huge pressure, but again, maybe Niall Moran took the wrong option. Maybe should have tried to leave it in low, or maybe cross it across the field.
Puck out, Clinton Hennessy. Straight down the middle it goes. First wide for Limerick, but the scoreboard counts 5-2. Dropping inside the 65-metre line. Hard pulling there. Malumphy's in there. Nagle is in there. Malumphy battling hard. The ball squirts out. Mark Foley gets it, but good interception by Jimmy Nagle. One-handed on his knees. Flicks it upfield, but Brian Geary covers back. First touch for the big centre-back, man of the match last week, but the man wasn't expecting it. Damien Reel, he handed to Damien Reel and handed him in a lot of bother, but Reel gets the clearance in, out towards the middle of the field. Ball breaks down 65 metres from the Waterford goal, falls to James Ryan. The WIT man is going for a huge one, and he's got it. Good play by Ryan, got 2 points last week, the Gary Spillane man. Now he's got a super score, 5-2. Again, a great score, and good shooting from James Ryan. Yeah,
very good score from James Ryan. He proved last week he's one of their danger men. Interesting now, Noel Connors has been dragged out the field. He's going back in a little bit now by Andrew O'Shaughnessy, leaving a 2-man full forward line in there for Limerick.
Davies pacing the line, just in the standing arms behind the back of the ball, drops inside the Limerick 45, picked up by Seamus Hickey, sweeping back, gets it in front of Kevin Moran, gets his clearance in, diagonal ball, looking for David Breen. Out comes Owen Murphy, flicks it away over towards Tony Brown, in a tassel there with Paul Brown. Two Browns, no relation, out towards the middle of the field now. David Breen coming out to take it, wearing 24. Back comes Jamie Nagle, flicks it back, and the man who comes in to help him is Richie Foley. Out towards Shane O'Sullivan, lovely pick by O'Sullivan there in a crowd of players, turns and twists. He's having a stormer in these opening 10 minutes. In towards Gary Hurnley, he goes high and holds over the big man Lucy. Hurnley trying to get away, 2-3 players hanging out of him, but in the end this one Limerick man comes away with it, and that's done. Dennis Maloney, the wing back, who has started well, drills it into the corner. Out comes Declan Prendergast, drops the ball, but the man who picks it up is Noel Connors. Great play by the cornerback, drills it down the corner, intercepted there by Mark O'Riordan. The footballer, the hurler. Was it over carry? How many times can you catch it? He pulls up the Waterford man for snapping on him, but definitely Dan was pulled last week, Fergal, and that was a definitely. Yeah, he actually threw it up and caught it, and referee gave it free against Owen Kelly. So 50-51 win against Waterford this time. So there's 13 minutes gone, 5-3, a free to Limerick on the halfway line. But it's good to see the work ethic, the intensity of the Waterford players is up 100%. Absolutely, but to be fair, as we said before, and I don't think the intensity was down last week, it's just the quality of the hurling was down. But as we said earlier, Kieran, 12 minutes gone, 5-3, and the quality is great today. It's a fantastic game so far. Geary is coming out to take it literally on the halfway line. The inspirational man from Monaleen as he pulled it left and wide. It's wide number 2 for Limerick. He went for the long one, left and wide, wind assisted, left to the upright, let off for Waterford. Score remains 5-3. Clinton down now right, prepares to take it out. What a game he had last week. Difficult conditions, ball like a bar of soap, driving wind and rain. He didn't drop one and got a lot of ball that he could have dropped, but didn't do it and did it all so well. Now he's puck out, dropping inside the 45. His clubmate Seamus Prendergast is in there. So too is Kevin Moore, and a bit of stalemate as Hickey falls to the ground. I think the referee Gavin from Offaly will have to throw it in outside the Limerick 45. Old stand side here down under us in the commentary position. About to throw it in. Who's first to react to it? Ball breaks out. Jamie Nagle is coming back to the 65, turning and twisting like a belly dancer. He was fouled and wins a good free there. Nagle was in very quick, picked up the broken ball, fouled outside the 65, and a chance for Kelly to stretch Waterford's lead. Yeah, and again, it's against the breeze, it's out of midfield, it's fairly central, so certainly within Owen Kelly's range, but a difficult free against the breeze nonetheless. Yeah, 5-3, 40 minutes. A lot of people, of course, working this afternoon. One man, Mon Hickey of Knockboy Ballinamul, celebrating 50 years. Normally, he never missed a Waterford game, but Tom Kearns Hardware is where he is this afternoon, and if he's listening in, I hope he'll be happy with the scoreline, and let's hope it can stay with Waterford leading. 5 points to 3 it is now. Owen Kelly prepares to take it from the 65, sends it over the bar. This man's eye is in this afternoon. Third point for Kelly, and against that wind, really, he's just hitting it perfectly.
It's good free, and it just shows the importance of having a good free taker like Owen Kelly, because, you know, whereas the central, and it was only on the 65, it was against a strong breeze and difficult free in those circumstances.
Murray with the puck out, resumes play. The 24-year-old sends it way down the left-hand side. 24 years of age with a lot of experience. Ball drops. Breen picks it up, going for a long one. He seems to have caught it well. Oh, lovely score for the Limerick man. It's 6 points to 4, and again they're in the half-forward line, just flicking it over the bar. 6 points to 4, just 2 points between the sides. 15 minutes gone.
Yeah, that was a soft score for Limerick, you know, straight from puck out. Limerick man onto the breaking ball, no Waterford man onto it. Soft score.
Clinton with the puck out, hitting it down the left hand side. Clodagh Power, I believe, listens to us over in London. Hope she's enjoying it so far with her sisters Clara and Nicola. I'm sure Dad Bill over in the US as well. Clinton gets it far as Malumphey. He feeds it on to Prendergast, coming down the left hand side in front of the old stand. That's a super score by Seamus Prendergast there. Malumphey was the link man from the puck out, fed it through to Seamus. Seamus shortened his grip, running down in front of the old stand, 25 metres out. Super score, Seamus Prendergast.
Yeah, great score, and he was nearly hooked the first round, took it back on the Hurling, and from a very difficult angle took it over the bar.
7 points to 4. You're listening to our Snow Creek Big Match live here on WLRFM. It's the replay of the Munster Championship. It's a semi-final. From the puck out, Limerick on the attack. Michael Brick Walsh running back, so too is Owen Murphy, back inside the Waterford 20 metre line. Back also there is Richie Foley near the corner flag. Townend gets his clearance out to the white helmeted Stephen Malumphey, slips to the ground. Ball breaks to Paul Brown with that yellow helmet. Brown takes his shot on the run, hits it on the run, sends it over the bar there. Bit of overplay by Waterford. We had possession, we worked it out. Malumphey dropped it. In came Paul Brown over the bar. 7 points to 5.
Yeah, Stephen Malumphey's having a good game. He dropped that ball, presented the opportunity to Paul Brown. Very good score by him.
Must say Waterford, or Limerick's Maloney, Brown and Breen all doing well, Fergal.
Yeah, their half forward line so far has done very well.
16 and a half minutes from the puck out. Prendergast knocks it down. Enters Niall Moore, cut off inside by Michael Brick Walsh. And Declan Prendergast came charging out there as well, but the referee says a free against Waterford, and seems very harsh on Declan Prendergast.
It's absolutely ridiculous rule, Kieran, where if you don't have a hurley in your hand and you hand pass the ball, it's a free against you, and the free is against you for dropping the hurley. Now, I've never known a player to drop a hurley. It's absolutely ridiculous, and a free against Declan Prendergast, and now an opportunity for Brian Geary.
Hurley definitely knocked out of his hand, but as you say, seems...
What hurler would drop his hurley? Just, it's nonsense.
Geary takes it, drops in around the square. It could be dangerous. Batted down inside by Connors, who's first to react to it. Looks like James Ryan it is, the WIT man. Flicks it back to Niall Moran. Moran steps inside one man, trying to get away from a second. That's Brick Walsh. Moran goes on a run. This could be dangerous. Gone inside the 20 metre line. Moran takes a shot and takes the point. Sends it over the bar. Could have been more dangerous, but he sticks it over the bar. It's his second point. It's 7 points to 6. We're back to 1, and Waterford just lead by 1, 17 and a half minutes.
Yeah, Niall Moran is looking dangerous, and Richie Foley's going to have to stay very tight on him.
Moran really up for today. The crowd are starting to get behind it. They're down here in their numbers. I saw Paddy Walsh there in a very prominent seat down under there with Father Connie Kelleher, watching every move. From the puck out, Moran wins it for Waterford, wearing 7 near the sideline, drilling it into the corner to Milan. The man who cuts it off is Damien Reel and gets his clearance into the roar of the Limerick crowd. Out towards the middle of the field, they go high. Caught well by Brick Walsh, but his shot is blocked down by James Ryan. Good intensity here. Now it's to Ollie Moran, the all-star of 2 years ago, is going for a long ball, looking for Shaughnessy. Can Shaughnessy keep it in? No, the wind just took it. Ollie went for a long one. Not sure if he was going for his own score, lofting into a Shaughnessy, but in the end the wind carried it out over the line. Right and wide, third wide for Limerick. Score remains Waterford 7, Limerick 6. Yeah, terrible wide for Ollie Moran. He was 60, maybe 65 yards out playing with the breeze and drove the ball 20 yards wide, and very frustrating if you're playing on the inside forward line. But just going back to it again, Limerick seem to be going with this tactic of a 2-man full forward line. O'Shaughnessy was out first, now Ollie Moran is out first. They're effectively playing with 2 centre forwards, Brick Welsh, Declan Prendergast standing shoulder to shoulder on James Ryan and on Ollie Moran. So Clinton with the puck out, the painter, decorator, the man from Ardmore. What a family servants they've been of GA in Waterford and of course in Ardmore. From the puck out, Jamie Nagle wins it well. Good catch by Jamie. Lovely ball into Milan. Just slips to the ground but gets up again. Turns and twist reel. Is he going to bring him on one of his runs? From the sideline takes his shot. Oh, that's Hurling at his very best. Lovely ball in by Jamie Nagle. He won it well. Fed it into Milan. Milan just turned his marker. Slipped the first time. Got it the second. Out on the sideline. Over the bar. Fergal, will you see better?
That's incredible stuff. Like, you know, I mean, we're seeing absolutely unbelievable scores from John Milan today. That's 2 points. I think it's his third point, and 2 of them have been absolutely top drawer.
8 points to 6, 19 and a half minutes gone. Brian Murray with the puck out. This time he's looking down the right hand flank, dropping around the 45. Prendergast goes high, knocked down. Tony Brown is in, he's on his knees. So too is Kevin Moran, but Ollie Moran tries to kick it away from both of them, but the man who picks it up is Brick Walsh. Hand passes away to Shane O'Sullivan, tried to take it on the stick. Was he foul play on, says the referee, in helping is Noel Connors. Good play by the teenager, tries to hand that pass the ball away, but it goes straight in to Shaughnessy. This could be dangerous. Limerick have possession. They work it back to James Ryan. Ryan is going for a long one. It's dropping dangerously. Is it going left? Is it going wide? Yes, it's gone over the bar. Again, Waterford had possession, lose possession. It squirts out to James Ryan, sends it over the bar. It's back 8 points to 7.
And again, Niall Moore set up that score for James Ryan, and he's causing a lot of difficulty in that half forward line.
Yeah, Niall Moore at left half forward, at right half forward is Paul Brown. He's doing well also. From the puck out, Clinton Hennessy. Was there a push in the back there? Yes, says the referee, and it was on the Waterford man, on the 65. Jamie Nagle got that push in the back.
Yeah, school by mistake there for Mark Foley. He's a very experienced hurler now. To give away a simple free like that is criminal for a player of Mark Foley's calibre.
Out comes Kelly to take it, and Kelly has been very good so far. This is his most difficult angle, literally on the sideline, but we've seen some great scores from Milan in particular, and also from Seamus Prendergast, literally from the sideline. Few of the Waterford substitutes warming up down our left. I see Jack Kennedy and Big Dan Shanahan warming up down on our left, but we'll follow the play. It's a free to Waterford, a bit of hold up and play. One of the Limerick players down injured receiving attention. Kelly taking his time inside the 65. The crowd may be small, but they're very vocal and they're enjoying every minute of this one.
Kieran, you know, you're going to have today the real core fans coming up today. You know, the real players go to every National League game, or fans that go to every National League game.
Kelly takes that free, but this time it goes left and wide. A second wide for Waterford, but it's the scoreboard counts, and that's 8 points to 7. Waterford leading 21 and a half minutes. Yeah, the true fans are here. They've come on their numbers. Saw Snail Power earlier. His car full as always. Footballer hurling, you'll see Snail.
Yeah. Kevin Moran down now. He looks like he has a hip injury, and Seamus Hickey down, so maybe they had a collision between the two of them because they're marking each other and both down injured.
Yeah, both of them seem to have picked themselves very gingerly. Two big men. Moran, of course, a great athlete out in the middle of the field. Peter Kerwin there working on him. I see Doc Higgins making it in as well. Let's hope it's not too serious, but the fact that he's not been brought ashore looks like, and he's been attended on the field, the referee standing over him there, but as you said, two big men colliding. And yeah, thankfully Moran is okay. Picks himself up, the St. Declan's man, back to his roots there on Friday last, and got a great reception himself from John Milan back in St. Declan's, the alma mater, and of course icons of the De La Salle club. Murray with the puck out, 8 points to 7. Waterford leading. Ball in the middle of the field. Malumphy's in like a tiger on the ground, trying to flick it away, but only gets as far as the Limerick man. But in to help him is Seamus Prendergast. That's good play by the Ardmore man, and picks it up one-handed, drills it in low. Hurney was making a run out. Was he foul? But the referee says Hurney fouled Lucy there.
And he did foul Lucy, but he was fouled by Lucy first. The referee didn't see that one and gave free against Gary.
Yeah, Lucy there pumping the air there. He's delighted to win that one. The Jewel Star, the UCD man, Dr. Stephen Lucy, of course, GP, Jewel Star, hurler, footballer, Fitzgibbon Cup, Sigerson's Cup. He's seen it all as Murray comes out and takes the free. 8 points to 7. Murray opens the shoulder, sends it long, dropping around the edge of the square. Players go high, hurleys go high, knocked down, man to react with Tony Brown. Great play by Brown. Covering back now towards the corner flag, looking for options, sends a hand pass across to Owen Murphy, but he grabs it very well there and is flicked away from him. But onto the breaking ball there is Michael Brickwild, 45 metres out. Great shoulder by the Brick. Gets it away to Jamie Nagle. Lovely low ball into John Milan into the corner. Wonder the cornerback would like. Milan's been pulled the drag, and referee says it's Milan was doing the pulling. Hard to believe it. Lovely ball in front of him there. Maloney getting involved. So too is Reel over on the far side there, and definitely Fergal from our vantage point. Lovely ball in by Jamie Nagle. Out came John Milan. Why would John Milan be fouling men when he's out in front of him?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I think on the 50-50 decisions they've gone against us so far. Certainly Limerick have got 2 or 3 very, very soft frees. They haven't seemed to be going Waterford's way as of yet. Interestingly now, Dennis Maloney looks like he's gone over on John Milan. You know, they were saying last week that Damien McRae held John Milan score very well in the second half. He's got 3 points, and they've shifted Dennis Maloney over on him.
Yeah, a bit of hold-up referee having a word with the players, and the crowd really starting to get in behind them. See, Reel has gone over there. They know that Milan gives it 110%, and
they're trying to upset Milan, but Milan is the kind of player when he's aggressive and when he's really pumped up, it's when he's at his best. And this fella's hitting him off the ball, but that's when he's at his best. Some forwards that upsets him.
Geary's going to take this free near the sideline, lobbing in around the Waterford square. They go high, knocked down just near the 20-metre line. Ball breaks to Paul Brown there, but well saved inside by Clinton Hennessy there. Brown pulled in the first time, Clinton was up to it. Clearance, not a long one. Out as far as Shane O'Sullivan, faced to hold it. Ball back to Paul Brown. He's everywhere. He's gone inside his marker. He's going to take a shot. Oh, it's gone left and wide there. Tony Ryan had a chance last week in a similar position. Brown had a chance now. Could have put it over. Could have gone for goal. Instead it goes wide. Relief for Waterford. 8 points to 7.
Yeah, relief for Waterford. He was clean through and goal. A very poor finish, but a very good run from Paul Brown. They're half forward line, to be fair, of Niall Moran, James Ryan and Paul Brown have looked very dangerous so far.
Paul Brown really relishing the situation. Big Ollie Moran has gone in top of the right. Unusual place for the wing from the puck out. Oh, Prendergast goes high and hose, knocked to the ground. Play on, says the referee. Tony Brown turns. Out comes Ollie Moran, the former WIT man, would know Brown fairly well, but he didn't spare him as Tony turned. In came Moran, got him chest open, and a free for Waterford. But Prendergast caught that well, went up like Paul O'Connell.
Yeah, fantastic catch from Prendergast under pressure, and he was fouled. Didn't give the free, then gave the free eventually to Tony when he was full frontal into the chest by Ollie Moran. Ollie Moran is a big man. He's
25 minutes gone, Fergal, 8 points to 7. Would you think Dave will be happy so far?
Yeah, I think, to be fair, both managers will have to be happy so far, because both teams have played relatively well, and they're giving everything, and there's very little that Davy or Justin for that matter would have been happy with. But certainly playing against the breeze, Waterford have the upper hand.
Hold up and play there. Tony Brown being attended, but referee says now play on. So Owen Kelly coming out to take the free just inside the halfway line, but 5 metres in. Seems to be pulling a bit right, but is it swinging in? Off the upright it goes, and right and wide there. He's striking well, a very, very strong wind. You could see the wind pushing it into the sky there, but right and wide. Yeah,
very difficult free. He was probably, he was probably 80, 90 yards out against the breeze, so it was always going to be a very, very difficult one.
So three wides apiece, I think, but 8 points to 7 is what counts at this stage. Murray with the puck out, this time sending it down the right hand side, dropping inside the 65, batted down by Shane O'Sullivan. Broken Hurley goes flying into the air as Seamus Hickey picks up the breaking ball. The cornerback, now midfielder, carries it over the line as Kevin Moore met him square on. The WIT and the UL men. Tony Brown getting involved there near the sideline. Justin is there, arms folded, just right under where Justin is standing. But in fairness to Moran, the two of them just collided like ships in the night. But I think Moran's name has been taken there.
That's a very bad. Again, that's a terrible decision, Kieran.
Yellow card for
Kevin Moran. Cleared that ball, flicked it away from Seamus Hickey. Seamus Hickey might be hurt, but that looked like a very fair challenge. I mean,
Moran was committed to the challenge,
but he clearly won the ball. Incredible decision. I mean, the very fact he won the ball is testament to the fact that the sideline ball is going to Limerick. Kevin Moran flicked the ball off Paul Brown over the sideline, and that's a baffling decision. And unfortunately, so far, all those 50-50 decisions have certainly gone against Waterford.
Niall Moran taking his time, taking this one out near the sideline on the 65. He's caught it well. It looks a good one from here. It's gone over the bar. It's the equaliser. We've played 27 and a half minutes. Moran gets the all-important one on the 27th minute. We're all square.
Yeah, excellent free from Niall Moran. It was right over on the side, and in fact, yeah, it was a free he gave, not a sideline ball. But I'm still baffled by that. It's an incredible decision.
Seems a harsh decision there, but there's one referee. He's Gavin. He's from Offaly, and he's the man in charge. From the puck out, ball breaks around the middle of the field. First to react to it is Breen. Mark Foley's in to try and help him. Foley's battling away, but it's Richie Foley tries to scoop it away, but back it goes, and Mark Foley clears it and sends it long. This could be dangerous. 20 metres out. If Breen gets his hand in ball, falls to Shaughnessy, falls to Breen. He takes it well blocked by Owen Murphy there. Out comes Clinton Hennessy near the edge of the square, doesn't pick it up. The man who picks it up is Noel Connors, playing like a veteran. He did it in the 70s. Young Noel is doing it this evening. Great stuff by Noel. Out to the middle of the field. Back to Kevin Moran, the WIT man, turning and twisting, going on one of his runs. Ball in his stick, flicks it away to Malumphy. The lieutenant, oh my God, Mitz Taylor. Geary did it last week on Seamus Prendergast. This time it's Malumphy. Moran was pulled up earlier for a foul on Hickey. My God, Geary has to see a book on that. Malumphy had the ball on stick. Well, Geary just squared him up from about 10 metres out. It's a bit of off the ball stuff here. Joe Kennedy, the Waterford man, is in there, the waterman for Waterford there. Kelly getting involved, Milan is involved, and I must say Maloney's really up in the ante on Milan the whole time. A lot of players coming out there. Lucy coming out, the doctor, he should know more. He's the fullback, he's the doctor, but he's trying to rise Milan as well. But definitely Malumphey doesn't go on easy, and I don't like the way Tom Higgins is signalling for a stretcher, and Malumphey doesn't go down easy, but Geary just squared him from about 10 metres.
To be fair to he did, right? But to be fair to the backs, when a player is coming through, you know, and you're right out with the shoulder, you know, you do tend to hit him. He got him square, and I think he got him on between the chest and the shoulder, and he certainly looks to be in trouble.
Looks like the collarbone here, and
it looks like the collarbone.
Seamus Prendergast picked one of those up last year, and they can take a long. They're a slow heel, but Malumphey doesn't go down.
No, he doesn't. No, absolutely not.
He was really in full flight. He was gone inside the 65, but Geary saw him from about 10 metres. He squared him up. He did it last week with Seamus.
He's after giving a yellow card to Brian Geary and a yellow card to John Milan. But look, as I said earlier, John Milan is now after getting belts off from every angle. That suits John Milan, because he loves it when it gets rough like that. And you know, Stephen Lucy comes out and does what he does. He comes out and starts throwing shoulders around and starts throwing shapes, and you know, but John Milan loves that. I think when it gets tough, John Milan will get going.
Limerick are making the bloods up there. Looks like Owen Foley coming on there, man from Patrickswell. But Malumphey seems to be anxious to stay on, because the reaction from both Peter Kerwin and Dr. Tom Higgins
was
if he'd be coming up. But I think
it looks like his leg actually. It's just unusual.
Yeah, from here I thought he was holding his shoulder, but could be just a dead leg. But it was like hitting a wall there, because Geary stood him up. I see Morris Geary rushing down to make a substitute, but one of the stewards is trying to stop Morris Geary making his way down. But officials really in Fergal on a day like today, they really want to know their place. Morris is a selector. He's stopping Morris going down.
It's nonsensical stuff, really, you know, because I think you know, there's rules and then there's common sense. I think common sense has to prevail in most occasions, you know, and there's stewards there to.
He's up again. Sorry for Malumphey's up again. There's the heart, the spirit. The man from McCulloch, they don't go easy, go down easy and bellied up.
He looks
and
badly
he
hurt
epitomised the spirit, but he's very badly shaken. The time of my stop was 31 minutes. We've had a few stoppages. Now it's a free for Waterford. 50 minutes out. Let's hope this free isn't too costly. The stretcher, the John's Ambulance people are coming in, thankfully, with no Malumphey on the stretcher. He's on the field, he's hobbling, but he's still on the field as Kelly takes the shot. Sends it right and wide. It looked to tap over. He scored more difficult ones already. He's definitely just took it very quickly, but hit it right and wide. From the clearance, the ball goes back to Kelly again from the puck out, takes his shot, knocked down aside by Murray and out for a 65. Not sure if Kelly was going to put it over the bar or under the bar, and instead it's out for a 65.
Yeah, he went to go over the bar, but I think he should have made sure of it. He hit it too low, and Brian Murray just took it from underneath the crossbar out for a 65.
So a 65 for Waterford, the first. And back on comes Stephen Malumphey is still limping very heavily there, Kieran, and you'd wonder, you know, if he is that bad and he can't run. He's in corner forward now. You know, you wonder, is it a wise decision to leave him on the field? Maybe he'll run it off, but at the moment he certainly is limping very heavily. And being allowed 5 subs, you could actually put on a fresh guy for a while, and bring back on Stevie once he let's hope he'll run it off. But now it's a 65. It's Owen Kelly shaping it up. 8 points apiece on the scoreboard. We're trying to settle down here after all this mayhem here in Semple Stadium with these injuries and underlying antics, as Kelly takes the 65. This time he opens the shoulders. This time he dissects the post. Number 4 for Kelly. The lead once again for Waterford on the 32nd minute.
Yeah, and Owen Kelly is out centre forward. Steve Malumphey has gone into corner forward, and I think that'll suit Owen Kelly as well for a while. Maybe get him out and get him into the play.
So Murray with the puck out. The Limerick keeper sending it way down the right hand side, dropping around the 45. Prendergast goes high, coming out to the ball. Tony Brown picks up the breaking ball. Lovely play by Brown. His first start of the season, and doing very well as the ball comes off the Limerick man Mark O'Riordan there, and for once we get the rub of the green from the officials. Line ball to Waterford, just outside our own 45. Kevin Moran to take it. Selected in the half-back line, but playing in the middle of the field. So far doing well, taking his time with this one. Centre-back for De La Salle, of course, who captured County and Munster honours. WIT Fitzgibbon Cup holder as well, after a great season. But a poor line ball. In to take it is Brick Walsh. there. Nobody was really expecting it to come in, and Brick wasn't expecting it there. A poor line ball. The line ball taking some of the Waterford players has been poor, and now it's a free for Limerick. Now it's a chance for the equaliser. Tony Brown is not a happy camper with that one.
No, again, probably it was a free, but soft way, a free to give away from a Waterford perspective. And Niall Moore, now this should be over. He has the breeze at his back. It's bang on midfield. It is at a difficult angle, but you would fancy him to score it.
34 minutes on the stopwatch. We've had a few stoppages. Waterford lead 9 points to 8. Ken Moran put it over for the equaliser, taking his time with this one. 10 metres in from the sideline, hitting into the town end. The green and white jerseys are behind us. Or the flags going up? No, the flags are staying down. It's 9 points to 8, and we're into the last minute of the first half. So Clinton taking his time with this one. His granddad Sean looking down on high, proud of his own sons who all played in the county final, 5 of them on the one day, but he's very proud of his grandsons, in particular Clinton, the number 1 keeper there, hard pulling there by Mark O'Riordan on Seamus Prendergast. Prendergast doing well out the puck out, put up his hand. O'Riordan pulled first time, too low, says the referee Gavin, and Prendergast is holding his knuckles there and just counting his knuckles, I think, Fergus. But in fairness, it was probably a hard call.
Yeah, it was a hard call because, Seamus got a bad bang there, but he probably hadn't hurled up protecting his hand, and O'Riordan pulled, and that's what happens when you put up your hand, you don't protect it, I
noticed you favoured the backs the whole time, Fergus. You played anyway.
No, but we've said about Seamus as well, he's so valuable to Waterford under those high balls, because if he hasn't won, he's won probably most of them, and if he hasn't won them, he's broken them as well. And it's very, usually a puck out into the half back line is a half back's ball, and it's so valuable to have a player like Seamus who can win puckers.
And as a defender, a big man in front of you obviously makes it twice as difficult.
He's huge, and he's impossible to push off a ball. He's a huge man.
So he picks himself up. He's okay. Malumphey still trotting around gingerly. He's gone in at 2 corner forward. Gary's back in at full forward as Kelly prepares to take the free, looking for a little sod to put up the ball on Semple Stadium, which looks absolutely brilliant. The wind blowing into his face. We're in injury time. The score is 9 points to 8. Kelly's a chance to stretch Waterford lead to 2. The referee looking at his watch as Kelly takes his time with this one. Passage clubman bends, lifts, strikes. Nervous Steele sticks it over the bar. Number 5 for Kelly, stretches Waterford leads 10 points to 8, no more than they deserve as we go into injury time. Yeah,
we said it already, it's the value of having a good free taker in the side. Against the breeze, all these frees, very good score.
Murray with the puck out. Of course, his dad Terence Murray refereed many a big game in Semple Stadium. Brian, the proud son, from the middle of the field. His puck out, piked out by Tony Brown, knocks it down to Shane O'Sullivan. Good play by the Ballygunnerman, trying to flick the ball away, looking for Malumphey. Malumphey struggling to come up to the pace of the Gale ball, and as Damien Reel gets it in front of him, going for a long one, dropping in. It could be dangerous under the crossbar. Saved brilliantly by Clinton Hennessy. He makes these look so easy, they can be so difficult. Out to the middle of the field it goes. Prendergast goes high. This time 2 fingers only go in the pull, but he manages to win it on the second time. Good play by Prendergast, blocked down, but comes back to retrieve, turns and twists. What do he do with this one? Flicks the ball in, about 30 metres out. Gary Hurney trying to hold it inside. Back helping is the man wearing 19 is Dennis Maloney. He's done well since he got his call up for today. Out to Seamus Hickey. Hickey sends it long, dangerous in around the edge of the square. They go high, but in the end goes harmlessly wide. Clinton Hennessy just stood by and left it go harmlessly wide. Good direct play by the Limerick man. In the end, right and wide. Score remains 10 points to 8. We've 2 minutes gone of injury time. I think we'll be hearing the half-time whistle very, very shortly. Clinton with the puck out into the breeze, not as strong as it was in the opening 20 minutes in injury time here. Waterford leading 10 points to 8. A free there, pushing the back by Seamus Prendergast, says referee Gavin, and it's a free under 65. But looking at Stephen Malumphey, he's really struggling.
Yeah, he is struggling, and we said there was a few bad frees given against us, but again, that was a free to Limerick, and a silly free to give away, a soft free, and now it's a chance for Brian Geary. It is 80 yards out, but he's got the breeze and a chance to push Limerick within a point of Waterford going in at half time.
The big centre back without a helmet, one hearty with flannels, but a very proud Limerick man. Has he pulled it right? But Clinton Hennessy again snaps it and does very well. He's clearance outside the 45. Moran goes high, in comes Stephen Malumphey there, gets it on the second attempt there, gets a knock, and he's delighted to hear the half-time whistle. The Waterford players run to the dressing room, and the 15,000 crowd applaud the players in. They were disappointing last weekend with the standard of play. My God, have been served up a cracker. Half-time score, Waterford 10, Limerick 8. Join us for first half analysis and all the action of the second half after the break. Yes, welcome back to Semple Stadium. Clouds starting to gather over Semple Stadium, but definitely the spirit's much higher than last week. A great buzz about the place. There might be only 15,000 or so here, but they've enjoyed every minute of the first half. Half-time score, Waterford 10, Limerick 8. Michael Moyne and Jackie Cahill join us once again. Michael, in fairness, Waterford not flattered by the 10.28 lead.
No, they've been good. They were quick out of the blocks, and you'd have to say they had two very good goal chances in the first 10 minutes from Gary Hurney and John Milan. John's is probably more clear-cut than Gary's, but certainly they've had their chances. John has scored a couple of very good points, John Milan, and the backs are doing very well as well. You'd have to say the Waterford full back line are well on top of them at this stage. I'd expect some changes from Justin McCarthy at half-time for Limerick.
Just before we came on air, we were speaking about last Sunday. In fairness to the players and to their credit, it's only when you see what the players can serve up now. The conditions last week, I know people were saying that you can't blame the conditions for the poor performance, but my God, you can see the difference of standard today.
Absolutely, and you can blame the conditions actually, because they were that bad last week. And in fairness, at half time there was a downpour here. It was torrential, and it was asking an awful lot of players to perform to any kind of standard in that. And you can see today now, players, their first touches in, the ball is being risen straight away. Great scores, thundering shoulder charges. It's real Munster Championship fair, and it's just there's not a big crowd here to see it.
Jackie Cahill, the intensity people were saying were missing last weekend, my God, it's not missing this evening.
No, and I thought Waterford were very sharp from the off, Kieran, and if John Milan's goal had gone in earlier on, it could have set him up rightly, but I think there was 17 minutes on the watch and we had 12 scores, which was the same as the entire first half last Sunday, which gives you some indication of the much higher quality out there. I think Gary Hurney in full forward, he's doing some good things in there. He caught some lovely early ball, and one or two little things just might have dropped from there and he could have been in, and of course he had a goal chance early on after 8 minutes. He just couldn't get it down. He hurled up in the air and tried to take it down, but just wouldn't come down from him. He's doing okay in there.
Before the game we spoke about Niall Moran and the free taking duties, and Andrew Shaughnessy back on the free taking duty for Limerick.
Yeah, and I think Niall went back on it then towards the end of the half and slipped over a point, but Owen Kelly has registered all of Waterford's 4 wides, and 3 of them were frees. Now a couple were long range out, so you wouldn't give Owen was unfortunate on a couple of occasions. Waterford are creating plenty of chances in there. John Milan 3 points from play again. He's on fire in that corner. Whenever the ball comes into me, he's been kind of going over and back, roaming, looking for the ball, but when it comes into him, God, he's deadly off left and right, And
Big Prendergast got a beauty from the sideline.
Yeah, absolutely lovely score, and there's been some good early approach play from Waterford in the game. Stephen Malumphey was involved in a couple of good things, laid off a point, scored one himself. So there's good movement up there. I think just out this field they're struggling just a small bit to get the ball in there, but when they do get it in there, they're very, very dangerous.
In fairness to, turning back to Michael, in fairness to Limerick, there are 3 changes, and Maloney, Brown and Breen have all done well, particularly Paul Brown being very impressive.
Absolutely, yeah, and they've shown the benefit of that out the field, maybe not so much in the full forward line, because as we were saying earlier, like Noel Connors having a very good game, Declan Prendergast and Owen Murphy the same, but there's a better balance to Limerick certainly this time. What I would be looking for is Waterford, maybe a better balance at midfield, maybe shake it up a small bit and try Brick Walsh in there, because as Jackie was saying, they're doing well at both full lines, but it's in the middle of the pitch, and that's the supply where the supply for the full forward line comes from. And if I was Waterford supporter, I'd be maybe looking for a bit more spark there.
One man we spoke of before the game played his first championship game here back in 92. He was under 21 in 92 and of course 94. He's 36 years of age on the 1st of July. Tony Brown.
Sure, look, I think he played his first game in 1892, but he's just an example to all of us. The fitness and the attitude and the appetite and just that beautiful swing. You wouldn't pick him out as the oldest man in the pitch, even though he is there, and he's turning in a fantastic performance. He's kind of I wouldn't say rolling back the years, because with him there's never a chance of that. He's just Mr. Consistency. Now
goals always set games alight, and Waterford had their chances. Gary Hurney had a chance, and of course John Milan had a chance. Limerick also had a great goal chance, Jackie.
They did, yeah. Paul Brown went through there about 10 minutes before half time, and he kind of seemed to be stretching at the end of it, and he just kind of scuffed his shot. I think there was a late hit went in on him, which kind of put him off his stride as well, just went into the side net. But that save earlier on from Brian Murray was, I don't know how much he knew about it, but he would have put your house on John Milan netting that, but he went to hit it high, you know what I mean? Yeah, I thought if he just drilled it low along the ground, he would definitely have buried it. And Murray came out and he unrushed him very, very quickly, so John was under pressure, but good save.
Would you be worried about the state of fitness of Stephen Malumphey? He looks to be still under pressure. I watched him
he seemed to limp away from that incident there involving Brian Geary, and it was a big hit now, and but he took it shoulder high, but Stephen seemed to limp away, so whatever way, maybe he fell awkwardly, but it seemed to be either his knee or his ankle that's giving him trouble when he limped away from that tackle. So it'll be interesting to see if he comes out for the second half.
Michael, we're speaking of big hits down in South Africa today with the Lions. My God, Geary last week on Seamus Prendergast, but you could actually feel the hit on Malumphey. He squared him up from about 10 metres out.
Oh, he did, yeah. Stephen just couldn't get the ball under control, and you know yourself, if you're playing hurling, if you can't get the ball and chance straight away, you're expecting something to fly in. It's likes of Skalkberger and these guys. I don't think they'd fancy Brian Gear coming at the place. But but we have to say he also got a yellow card for it, so that tells its own story as well. But Stephen certainly did well to get up and get away from that one.
Jackie, of course, it's a huge weekend for hurling later on this evening. Do you see Galway causing a big upset, or do you see the Cats marching onto the Leinster final?
Well, the only bit of chink of light I'd say for Galway is that Joe Canning is obviously fit and ready to play, but Noel Hickey is out for Kilkenny now. That kind of robs people of a much anticipated match up there on the edge of the Kilkenny square.
Not a bad replacement in JJ.
Oh, serious. I mean, JJ will just slot back in there and do a fantastic job. John Dawson comes into the half back line there. Brian Hogan is out as well for Kilkenny, but I think at the middle of the field you've got James Chaff Fitzpatrick and Derek Ling are both out, so much will depend on how Michael Rice and Michael Fenley go in the middle of the field. Maybe there'll be a couple of switches there.
Who would you go for?
I have a funny feeling for Galway, but Kilkenny could win by 10 or 15 points. Having said that, but
you wouldn't be surprised for Galway.
Wouldn't be surprised, yeah.
Michael?
I go for Kilkenny simply because I suppose they have a cause. No, we probably take it amiss. The Galway have come into Leinster and might want to put manners on them, and all the talk about Joe Canning, and he certainly. I wouldn't like to be a Galway fan facing into Tullamore, as Jackie said. Even though they've a lot of aces up there, Stephen and Kilkenny have been there. They've done that, and it's when you see what they did to Cork in the league when they had a point to prove, they could do the same there tonight, and I'd have a fancy for them.
Dublin against Wexford. Do you feel the Dubs can reach the Leinster final?
Yeah, and it's funny. I suppose there's a bit of a consensus that would be great for hurling if Dublin came through, and it would. There's no doubt about that. I wouldn't write off Wexford, but the tide seems to be with Dublin. They have a big, strong physical team, and ironically, Wexford don't, which was always their forte down the years. A Dublin Kilkenny Leinster final, without disrespect to anyone, would probably be more of a draw than the Kilkenny Wexford games have been in the past. So I suppose you'd be kind of half hoping maybe that Dublin would come through there.
Jackie Cad?
I think because there are two provincial venues, these two semi-finals, like Nolan Park and Tullamore, that could tighten things up. If Galway have any chance of winning against Kilkenny, they're going to do it on a tight field. So possibly, I might fancy them just tonight. I think Dublin's time has probably come. Anthony Daly will feel they haven't contested Leinster final since 1991. So if Anthony can get them there, that's obvious progress, in year one of his.
And they're into an All-Ireland quarter.
Yeah, you're straight there. So big day for both teams.
Jackie, tomorrow, of course. I know you'll be tomorrow. Huge day for your Premier. You're taking on Clare. Clare are always tough in Munster Championship, particularly in Limerick.
Yeah, it's. I can't see us losing it, but then again, I suppose Tipperary people are always accused of that little bit of arrogance, but. Clare are.
You talking about the Munster final now or the semi-final?
They're waiting in the long grass, Clare, and Mike Mack will have these lads fired up. But it's time now. Clare have lost a lot of leaders over the last few years. Colin Lynch's, Brian Owens, Frank Shawnee's. It's time for the likes of Tony Carmody, Tony Griffin, Jerry O'Grady, Brian O'Connell, that core group there now. They have to stand up and lead like men tomorrow. And if they don't, Tipperary will swarm all over them, and it'll only be a one-sided contest.
Michael?
I'd have to go for Tip for the simple reason that if Clare had come through against Cork or another county, they would have been maybe a bit more battle hardened. A good championship game brings a team on leaps and bounds, and Tip have had that, and they didn't need any advantages to begin with, if you follow me. I think they have the quality up front, they have the firepower, and I can't see Clare holding them out tomorrow. Now
finally, lads, before the game, Michael, you went for Waterford. Are you staying with Waterford?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think they've shown that they can play without Ken McGrath, and they're on top in the full back line, so barring a disaster, I expect them to pull through. Yeah.
Jackie Cal, you were a bit undecided beforehand.
Yeah, on the first half of evidence, I'll go at Waterford. I'll stay in Michael's corner on this one, so just about shade it.
Jackie and Mike, listen, I really appreciate you coming, and hopefully Mike get a quick word on the full time. I know you're under a lot of pressure, but thanks a million, guys. Great to get the views there. Michael Moynihan from the Irish Examiner and Jackie Cahill, great well-known GA correspondent. Both teams coming out. Waterford out, here come Limerick. Fergal, your take for the second half?
Yeah, I agree with the lads. I think Waterford playing with the breeze in the second half, have that little more of firepower. Dan Shanahan is in, Kieran, and Stephen Malumphey is gone off, so I think Dan has a point to prove as well. I think Dan is disappointed he wasn't picked to start today. He'll have a point to prove, and hopefully we can see Dan return to some of the form that that made him hurler of the year in 2007.
Yeah, the big man is in, disappointed not getting a start. He's in at centre forward and rearing to go, performing well and going well in training, and a man on his day has lit up Semple Stadium and many a pitch in Munster and indeed in Croke Park, of course, as well. Referee in the middle of the field. 35 minutes to decide if Waterford can make it back to a Munster final. Ball thrown in, and James Ryan has it for Limerick from through, sends it long in around to the full forward line. Shaughnessy goes high. Shaughnessy holds it. And was he fouled? Yes, says the referee. He went high. Connors literally came in with him, literally in under him, and Shaughnessy, I think, made a meal of it as he landed, but he's won himself a free, dead straight in front of goal. He should tap it over, or do you think he might have a crack at it?
No, he'll tap it over, but Limerick interestingly are changing between Shaughnessy and Moran kind of almost every second free now. Maybe Shaughnessy's taking the close in ones, yeah.
Yeah, he's hitting into the Killeen, and to the Waterford supporters. They're sparse down there in the blue and white, but Shaughnessy Gets his second point of the afternoon, brings it back 2-1, 10 points to 9. Win now favouring Waterford. Clinton changing to Hurley down their left in front of the Killine end. Only about 1,000 Waterford supporters down there. Let's hope they'll be here in a few weeks' time for a Munster final, but there's a long way to go. It's 10 points to 9. There's 1 point between them. Limerick haven't won a final since 96. From the puck out, ball breaks through. Jamie Nagle runs onto it, gone inside the 45, turning to his right hand side and hits it right and wide there. Mark Foley was tracking back on him as well, ran onto the breaking ball well, steadied himself up right and wide. The chopper comes in. I'm sure it's JP McManus making his way back to Mascot. He won't be happy with the scoreline, but the green and white chopper is touching down Ferg. The big man has arrived.
Jamie Nagle, Everton right there, but snapped the shot in the end and drove it harmlessly wide.
Murray with the puck out. Busy this afternoon, sends it towards the middle of the field. Seamus Prendergast goes high, knocks it down into the path of Ollie Moore. Dangerous ball across, well cut off by Brick Walsh. That's great play by the man from Carrigahilla out near the middle of the field. Scoops the ball away there, but only straight into the hand of Brian Geary, who says thank you very much, sends it back with interest. At the other end, Brown comes away with it. Hand passes back. The experienced man gets it back to the teenager, Noel Connors. He relieves the pressure out towards the middle of the field. Ball breaking down. Dan Shanahan runs onto it. First touch for the big man. Ball in his stick. He's going goalwards. Still Dan. What can he do with it? Heading John Milan is looking for the option. He flicks it away, but it's Mark Foley who saw it coming. Mark Foley intercepts it and clears his lines to the road, Limerick people. Richie Foley goes high in a hard pull. Flicks the ball away. Good play by the Abbey sideman. Gets it to the Dungarvan man. That's Jamie Nagle. Steps inside his mark. It'll be a great score if it goes over. Oh, it goes right and wide there. Lovely bit of interplay between Foley and Nagle. Nagle went for a long one outside of 65, left and wide.
Yeah, great play by Jamie Nagle. Dummied, I think it was Mark Foley very, very well, and they needed a clean shot and drove it left and wide.
6 wide for Waterford, but it's the scoreboard that counts. As 10 points to 9. Waterford leading by 1. Win with Waterford in the second half, but as we said before, Win never won a Munster Championship game. From the puck out, O'Sullivan goes high and holds. That good play by the man from the Woodpecker. The Ballygunner man does high, went high, snapped it out of the air and wins that free. And is he a happy man? Seamus Hickey is talking to the referee, and referee having a word with Seamus Hickey, but just a word in his ear, and Kelly comes out to take it. That hairstyle really looks, the barber had a right go at him.
He had a row with the barber, I'd say.
But he's doing very well so far. 5 points to his credit. This one would be an ideal start for him for the second half. Justin looks on, hands behind his back, boots as shiny as ever. From the middle of the field, Kelly takes it, drills it over the bar with style. Dando's happy wherever he is. I'm sure his mum Joan is there as well, somewhere in the crowd. They'll have to be happy, as the Waterford supporters are happy when Kelly is in this kind of form. 11 points to 9. Tom Byrne runs on with the magic bottle. Down on our right, Brian Murray taking his time with the puck out. It's against the wind. It'll be interesting to see where this one will land. Wind not quite as strong as it was in the opening 15 minutes. It's going to drop inside the Waterford 65. Good puck out by going high as Brick Wall sails into the air but fails to hold it. The man who's running onto the breaking ball is Donal O'Grady. He's been very quiet so far. O'Sullivan comes in and robs him. That's good play by O'Sullivan, but did he foul it? Referee going in have a word and says a free for Waterford there, but in comes Kelly. But Shane O'Sullivan is so busy, a breaking ball there, in on top, in to snap it away, and a free and a chance for Kelly.
Yeah, he's a player, Kieran. I don't think gets enough credit for all the work he does. He gets through a huge work rate in the game, does a lot of simple things, wins. That's his second free win. Hopefully Owen Kelly put this over, and realistically they're 2 points that can be credited to Shane Sullivan.
Sure, man, Hickey will be happy with this one, celebrating his 50th birthday. Could get it off to a right start this evening if Waterford can keep this up. A free, Kelly to take it. Just a few metres away from me, took the last one, left to the upright. This time he's taking it. Has he the radar in? Yes, he has. Number 7 for Kelly. Between the posts it goes. The passage man trots back on his form. Lovely strike. 12 points to 9. Murray with the puck out again, taking his time. The custodian from Limerick. All-star 2 years ago, green and white hoop, sporting Limerick across it. The op is on the Waterford jerseys. Ball broken off the puck out by Niall Moore, cut off by Richie Foley. Good play by the Abbey sideman. Sends it long in around the edge of square. Out comes Murray. Milan is in for the breaking ball. Murray slips to the ground. Did he pick it up? Yes, he did on the second attempt there. He did very well under pressure there and gets it away. That could have been dangerous for him, but Murray does well. Gets a clearance in and away upfield it comes. Brick Walsh cuts it off at the other end. One-handed away to Kevin Moore. Good play by the Muntor from De La Salle into John Milan, his clubmate, 30 metres out. What is he doing? He's turning left, he's turning right. Instead he takes his shot. Oh, it's gone right and wide there. Did everything right. Lovely ball by Moore. Good catch by Brick Walsh. Good combination in the end, right and wide. 12 points to 9.
Yeah, had a little bit more time maybe than he thought he had, and snapped it a little bit, rushed a little bit, and drove it just left and wide.
7th wide for Waterford last weekend. It was 12 wides to 8 this time so far. It's 7 wides to 6. Waterford have the 7, but they lead 12 points to 9. You're listening to our Snow Cream Big Match. Ball in the middle of the field. Shane O'Sullivan tries to scoop it up, knocked away out of it. In to help him is Brick Walsh. Neither player gets it up. Tony Brown is coming in. Bricks again, gets it on the second attempt. Great play by the Strably man. Gets it away to Jamie Nagle in the middle of the field, trying to control it. Flicks the ball away, but only into the path of James Ryan. Ryan has it inside the 65 now for Limerick. Drills it into the corner. Davy Breen gets it. He might go on one of his runs. The goal scorer last week from the sideline. It'll be a great score if it goes over. It looks a great shot, and it's gone over the bar. He got a great goal last week. Now he's got a super score literally on the sideline. That's a good score by Davy Breen. 12 points to 10. Justin can manage a smile, turns around. He loves a strike like that.
Yeah, super score from David Breen. He's been very quiet so far. Owen Murphy's marshalled him very well, and he was right in the sideline. Difficult angle, and great score.
Clinton with the puck out, dropping inside the 45 metre line. Dan Shanahan running across on a hard tussle with Brian Geary towards the middle of the field. Who's first to react to a breaking ball? Shane O'Sullivan's in the middle of it, so too is Seamus Prendergast. Because anybody, can they get it into their hand? They're trying to pick it in the Malia players. In the end, there's a foul by Shane O'Sullivan on the Limerick man. It's going to be a free, or is it line ball? I think it's going. He's given a free to the Limerick man, but free to the Limerick man on their own 65 over on the far side in front of Ardán O'Reen. I can see the blazered Jimmy O'Gorman over there in the VIP seats. Chairman of the Munster Council, the Lismore man, watching on with every puck. Good diagonal ball by Geary, looking inside for Niall Moran, the number 12, trying to get away from Richie Foley. Richie fouls him. Richie holds his hands out in innocence, but referee says it's a foul and it's a free, and it's Andrew Shaughnessy to take it.
Yeah, good play by Niall Moran, and to be fair, I think he was being fouled with Richie Foley. This is a very difficult free from for Andrew Shaughnessy right in the side, and against the breeze. If he puts this over, it'll be a very good score. Star
of the under-21 teams, the lieutenant, the army man, out of this year, but a man starting to come back into form for the right time. On literally a metre in from the sideline, 40 metres out, steadies himself, takes his shot, looks to go run, dissects the post over the black spot. Number 3 for O'Shaughnessy. It's back to just 1, 12 points to 11.
Yeah, said it before he took it. Excellent score by Andrew O'Shaughnessy.
Just 1 point between the sides. The crowd really might be only 15,000 here, but they're very vocal and they're seeing a good game of hurling. Typical Munster Championship day. Puck out, Nagle goes high, knocked away from him into the path of Seamus Hickey, drilling it into the corner. Who's first to react with the man racing back is Brick Walsh. Good play by the centre back. O'Shaughnessy keeps the pressure on. Corner flag, Killeen end in front of the old stand, out towards the middle of the field from the break to Shane O'Sullivan. Great play by the man from Blenheim. He goes for a long one. Oh, Mum Lily will be happy with that one. That's a super score. Great catch under pressure, Fergal, and a super score, stretching Waterford's lead.
Fantastic score by Shane O'Sullivan, and to be fair, I think that's exactly what he deserved, because he's worked really hard, won some great ball, and that's the score that all his endeavours have deserved.
13 points to 11. Waterford lead by 2-8, and Carney down the dugout there. Owen McGrath's been warmed up. Jack Kennedy being warmed up. Owen McGrath taking off the tracksuit. He could see action very shortly. Ball gone inside the 65 from the puck out. Tony Brown goes in to pick it. Owen Murphy comes in and takes away for great play by the man from Knockenour, and passes away to Dan. Lovely low ball into Milan, who's racing out for it. 30 metres. Milan turning to his left. Milan takes his shot, and Milan sends it over the bar. Lovely ball in by Dan Shanahan. A one that a forward like, straight in front of Milan. Milan gets a ball like that, you can be chalking down the score. Yeah. Great score.
And we need to get more balls of that in the Milan. If he gets that ball, he'll put it over the bar. Fantastic ball in from Dan Shanahan. That's exactly what we need.
14-11. Dan really up for the out of centre forward. The Cumroyle. Laurie was parked good and early this morning. He's fresh, he's eager, he's wearing 18. But he owes Waterford hurling nothing. From the puck out to go high in the middle of the field, running onto it. That's good play by Owen Murphy, coming way outfield, flicks it away to Dan Shanahan. He's gone 5 to 45. Oh, he hit it on the run there. Lovely bit of play. Murph came forward, gave it through to Dan, hit it on the run. He was being tracked down by Hickey. So Jamie Nagle being called ashore, and the man coming on, Owen McGrath. Ball not really running for Jamie. Had a few nice touches in the first half, and used any ball he got very well.
Yeah, he can. I think he can hold his head up high coming off the field. Jamie Nagle did very little wrong today.
Fresh legs of Owen McGrath. Nagle goes off to Dungarvan. Big weekend for Dungarvan, of course, involved in the failure, but Jamie put in some lovely touches and giving away now after 10 minutes of the second half to Owen McGrath. So Murray with the puck out. It's 14 points to 11. You're listening to our Snow Cream Big Match. 10.5 minutes gone in the second half. 3-point lead, and Hurling is a dangerous one. From the puck out, dropping inside the 65. Seamus Prendergast comes out to win it. Gets it to Owen McGrath. First touch for number 19. Gets it on to Dan. Dan is on the 65. Dan has gone inside the 65. Ball in his stick. Treads it through to Seamus Prendergast. Oh, he flicked it on to John Milan. Not sure if he meant it. Milan meant this one as he sends it over the bar there. Again, Dan Shanahan was involved. Prendergast was involved. It flicked on to John Milan there. Not sure if it was meant, but my God, he's on fire. Number 5 to Milan. Score is 15-11.
I mean,
11 minutes gone.
He makes it look so simple. And you know, if we can just get that ball in, John Milan is on fire. He's on fire today, Kieran.
Limerick warming up, a few substitutes down under us. Justin having a word with a few of the backroom team. We'll see some changes from Limerick. From the puck out, Ollie Moran wins it. Good play by the big man. Flicks the ball away to Donny O'Grady. He should put it over. He's in the space, and he does. Puts it over the bar. First touch on Ollie Moran for a long while. He won that ball well from the puck out. Fed it through to Donal O'Grady. 11.5 minutes gone in the second half. It's 15 points to 12.
Yeah, first touch for Ollie Moran and first touch for Donal O'Grady. I think that's the first ball I remember Donal O'Grady hitting in a long time. And as we said, Shane O'Sullivan and Kevin Moran certainly on top now in midfield.
So Donal O'Grady
just been taken off, actually.
Yeah, I think they had that call made before he stuck it over the bar. He'd been very quiet, been out hurled, and on comes Owen Foley. He was on as a blood sub. O'Grady called ashore. Foley at Patrick's well is on. JP McManus has taken his seat up in the stand. The chopper is parked. Will it be leaving quickly after the game? Will he be staying for celebrations? I'm sure Jerry Chalk will ensure that he doesn't leave too early. The ball from the 45-metre line from the puck out. Seamus Prendergast adjusts to a foul. It's going to free out and relief for the big man Stephen Lucy. Dr. Lucy.
He gave me a yellow card.
The Jewel Star, yeah, but Seamus there. I think there was a bit of back answer by Seamus there. Joe Kennedy.
Yeah, maybe that's what it's for, yeah.
Yeah, he's not. I've noticed any bit of back answer, and he's not having any of it. Justin stands arms folded. Davy stands all alone. The man from 6 Mile Bridge. A few more substitutes warming up down the left. Good ball in by Lucy. Dropping 40 minutes. Oh, Brick Walsh goes high and soars and catches it as only Brick can. Hand passes away to Shane O'Sullivan. Back helping in defence. Gives it back to Tony Brown. Tony opens the shoulders and gives a long clearance. Dropping near the 45. It's Mark Foley and it's Dan Shanahan. Mark gets the better of that one. He holds on to that ball. He's coming across the half back line diagonally. Now he turns straight and gets the clearance in. Good play by Foley, the captain. Swinging it up into the half forward line. Ball goes on to Breen. Breen trying to flick it away. Cut off inside by Shane O'Sullivan. Good play by O'Sullivan. Lovely diagonal ball to John Milan. 35 metres out. Milan takes the shot. Has one look. Oh, drops in around the edge of the square. We thought it was gone over. Murray saves it. Gary Hurney came crashing through. He was going to take man and ball, but Murray holds on to the ball and gets the clearance in. Dropping outside the 50-metre line. Ollie Moran has it for Limerick. Cut off by Brick Walsh. Good play by the Brick. Flicks it away to Owen McGrath. The live wire. The number 19 is falling to the ground there. Lost his footing there. He was trying to get rid of it before he caught it, and now comes Mark Foley. Mark Foley gives it on to Ollie. Ollie Moran steps inside his marker, drills the ball in low, looking for Shaughnessy, but out comes Clinton Hennessy. Was he fouled? Shaughnessy. Noel Connors is the man being spoken to. Shaughnessy falls to the ground. Free, says referee. Looks a simple one from here, but again, the forward got the advantage there. Normally it's the back in that situation, and it's a free in.
Yeah, bad free to give away. Clinton Hennessy had the ball just to make a clearance, and now it's a simple tap over for Andrew O'Shaughnessy.
Or could he go for a goal? He's been known to get one before, but I'm sure he'll bring it back to 2.
Yeah, I think he'll bring it back to 2.
12
yeah, he's about 25 yards out. It's just a little bit too far to go for a goal, and I think he'll just tap this ball over the bar.
So Andrew O'Shaughnessy hitting into the Killeen end. Thomas Ryan and Shane Fives, they're some of the Waterford backroom team. Davy comes across, has a word with Peter Queally. And Morris says Shaughnessy just sticks it over the bar, makes no mistake. Number 4 for the lieutenant. Brings it back to 2 points, 15 points to 13, 14.5 minutes gone. Clinton with the puck out. Ollie Moran coming more into it, has been very quiet in the first half. Fergus starting to make a bit of an impression.
Yeah, he's moved out the field now. He's actually dragging, he's still playing full forward, but he's dragging Declan Prendergast out.
Hickey goes high and gets it ahead of Kevin Moran. Good play by the Limerick midfielder, but carries it out over the line. Gets good tracking back by Kevin Moran there. Kept the pressure on Hickey. Hickey ran out of the ground. Line ball to Waterford, or is the referee giving a free? Seems critical.
Yeah, it's hard to know what he has made some bad decisions today. It looks like he's overruled the linesman. Maybe it's the right call. It's hard for us to say from here, but it certainly isn't a free.
It's ironic that all the bad decisions are against Waterford.
Yeah.
Line ball. Looked a certain line ball for Waterford, but taken instead by Mark O'Riordan. Flicks the ball away to Paul Brown. Leaves it out to Davy Breen. Davy Breen sends the ball diagonally across. First touch for Owen Foley, the substitute. Dan Shanahan comes back and dispossesses, hits it down into the corner. Out comes Milan in a 2-1 situation, and he wins it brilliantly. He turns his marker, he's heading towards the 45 from the left hand side on the run. Oh, it's gone left and wide. Got a late tackle there by Mark Foley.
Got a late tackle, yeah.
A dirty tackle it was too.
The referee, he looked back, he saw it, and he should be taking action now because he's given a very soft yellow card against Seamus Prendergast only just a moment ago, and now he hasn't taken any action against Mark Foley. Hit after the ball. That's a very, very bad decision, and you have to question a lot of the decisions this referee is making today. He's getting every 50-50 decision has gone against Waterford.
9 wides to 6. Score remains 15 points to 13. There is Door Snow Cream, big match. At this stage we say hello to Noel Murnan. Listen to us out in New South Wales in Australia. From the puck out, Niall Moran goes high and holds. Good catch by the Muntor from Orskull Reach. He's going forward, gone inside the 45. Is still Moran in Limerick. Was he fouled? Yes, says the referee. Got tangled, it looked like, with Shane O'Sullivan more than anything, and Limerick literally getting simple frees. Looked like an accidental tie-up of feet.
It's a tie-up of feet. He ran across the player, tie-up of feet. Now, to be fair, referees normally give those to the forwards, but again, everything is going, in terms of referee decisions, everything is going Limerick's way. John Milan absolutely creamed after he took a shot there, and no free. It should have been a booking and a free from where the ball landed, and now Limerick have a soft free to bring it back to a point.
Soft free, dead straight in front of goal. And Shotensey puts it over. Number 5 for Shotensey. Back to a 1-point game, 15 points to 14. Clinton preparing with the puck out. His uncle Johnny did Waterford proud in the football arena, both for his club Ardmore and of course for Munster and for Waterford. Clinton doing it for Waterford. From the puck out, he's aiming towards Dan. Dan goes high and holds, catches over Mark Foley, trying to get away from Mark Foley, being pulled and dragged by Mark Foley. Limerick might be known for great rugby players. Mark Foley could be one of them because the way he held on to Dan there, he do Shannon or Gary Owen proud. But it's a free for Waterford. Great to see Dan catching those balls, Fergal. It's a free, and Owen Kelly coming across to take it.
And when Dan catches the ball, Kieran, his confidence is up, and Dan, you can see that the minute he came into this game, he's fired up for it, and he's made a very good contribution since he came in.
Yeah, he has that swagger this evening. The confidence is up, and when Dan is on his day, of course, Thurles has been his favourite ground as Kelly, his cousin, comes over to take it. Crucial score to put Waterford back to a 2-point lead. They lead 15 points to 14. 17 and a half minutes gone in the second half. You listen to our Snow Creek big match, Munster semi-final replay. Kelly takes it. The clouds are over Thurles, but they're not over Kelly as he sends it over the bar. Number 8 for Kelly, and stretches Waterford leads to 2, 16-14.
Yeah, that was an important one. It was a bit of a pressure one because the momentum had swung back in Limerick's favour, and now Waterford back to a 2-point gap.
Aidan Carney's the man now, gets a chance. Aidan Carney on, and Richie Foley coming aside, the Abbey side man coming off. Doesn't look like a happy camper coming off. He'd played his heart out, but Aidan Carney will be big injection again, and delighted to get his start after a bout of illness.
Yeah, and they put him out in Paul Brown, and Paul Brown is very fast, and I think that's why they put Aidan Carney on him, just to have the legs on him.
Murray with the puck out, dropping around the middle of the field, picked up by Owen Foley, the substitute, drops it under pressure, leaves the ball slip away to Michael Brickwall, takes a heavy shoulder but stands his ground, gives it back to Shane O'Sullivan. Shane O'Sullivan playing a lot of ball, the Ballygunner man drills it in towards John Milan, inside the 45. Milan has turned his marker, Milan has gone away with the ball in his stick, he's turning left, he's turning right, turning to his right hand side, and he sends it over the bar. An exhibition from the Muller, point number 6. Milan at his brilliant best, and he was turning to his right hand side. Joey Carton turned him onto it all those years ago. Fergal, Joey would be happy to see him using the right there.
Yeah, it's an exhibition from John Milan. 6 points from play, absolutely fantastic stuff.
And they've tried a few men now. Dennis Maloney has the job of tracking down Milan. Hygiene technician, he's really cleaning up today. From the puck out, it's Seamus Hickey, the inspirational young player, the number 9 from UL, from the puck out, and he gets a great score. That's a great determined run. He got a good score last week. That's his second score of the afternoon. That's a good way to respond to Milan's point.
Super score from Seamus Hickey, and he's come into the game in fits and starts. He's on Kevin Moore, and he's coming into the game in fits and starts, but when he does, he's very effective.
It's back to 2 points, 17 points to 15. Waterford leading by 2, 19 and a half minutes gone. End-to-end stuff. The ball is with Seamus Prendergast from the puck out. Good play by the Ardmore man. Drills it into Owen Kelly from the sideline. Has one look, takes one shot, and sends it over the bar. Set up by Prendergast, finished by the man from Passage. If Milan is scoring some great scores, so too is Kelly, and that's a beauty.
Yeah, and we've repeated ourselves, we've said this plenty of times in the show, but Seamus Prendergast is so valuable to this team. Brilliant work by Seamus Prendergast winning that ball and laid off a great ball for Owen Kelly.
Number 9 for Kelly, 18 points to 15. Ball in the middle of the field, big Ollie goes high. That's Ollie Moore, feeds it to Seamus Hickey. Hickey gives it back to Moran. Moran wasn't ready for it, but gets it on the second attempt. 30 metres out. Still Moran turning to his left. Well blocked down there by Tony Brown. Ball breaks to Niall Moran. Ill to help the older brother. Ball breaks back to Hickey. Hickey gives back to Moran. He should put it over. Takes the shot. Oh, sends it right and wide there. Let off for Waterford there. Bit of overplay. Ollie probably should have stuck it over on the first attempt. Bit of overplay. Let off for Waterford.
Bit of overplay, and you can see Ollie Moran. He's not as confident as he was 2 years ago when he was playing centre forward and putting balls over the bar. He hasn't scored today, and that was a fairly easy opportunity. Should have put the ball over the bar, hit it wide.
Waterford back to a 3-point lead. 7th wide for Limerick. Waterford have shot 9 wide, but it's scoreboard 18-15 in favour of Waterford. From the puck out, Mark Foley tugging the Azuri jersey there off Dan, but the Azuri jersey stands up to it, so does Dan. Ball breaks to John Milan over his shoulders, going to drop short. Out comes Murray, keeps his eye on it. The in-rushing Owen McGrath nearly made contact, but Murray flicks it away to Damien Reel, the cornerback. Made his debut in 01. The man from Hospital could end up with Hospital if his bandy passed down to, I'll tell you. But instead it's a free out and relief for Reel.
Yeah, relief for Reel. The first mistake probably John Manal made. He took a very ambitious shot there, but everyone needs touch. His first touch is fantastic, and he dropped the ball into Brian Murray's hand there. Might have been better off crossing it across the goal.
So free out for Limerick. At this stage we say hello to June Murphy from Passage in Hospital in Dr. Stevens Street Hospital in Dublin, from Pat and Ger. They send their regards. We know you're listening in, and to anyone listening in on the internet, hope you're enjoying it. Waterford are leading 18 points to 15 from the puck out. Ball breaks to Hickey. Come more into it for Limerick. The number 9 zills it into the corner. This could be dangerous. The man who has it is David Breen. Oh, he carries it out over the line there. A bit too fancy. Ball came in very fast to him, couldn't control it over on the far side. Good play by Owen Murphy, the man from Headborough. Again, the tractors are parked from early morning in Headborough's half a Knockenour support. They support Waterford anyway, particularly when there's one of their own. Long clearance from Murphy, cut off by Mark Foley at the other end. Foley, the captain, send it long. The publican sends it down to the corner to James Ryan, the WIT man, going one of his runs. Brick keeps him goal side with no one well, with no his antics as he gets it back to Mark from a different angle. Oh, that's a great score by Niall Moran there. That's a great score. Lovely bit of interplay. And in the end, Moran sticks it over. Ryan set up. Moran sticks it over. Back to a 2-point game. 18 points to 16. Tit for tat.
Yeah, excellent score by Niall Moran, and he's having a very good game overall.
So Graham Mulcahy is coming on. Not quite sure who Justin is calling off, but it looks like Mark Foley, actually, the captain. So captain being called ashore. The man from Adair. Maybe
he feels he's just running a little bit out of steam or out of legs.
Just passes Justin in there. No pat in the back, but he probably has done his bit. Justin is happy with him as Tom Byrne runs on with the magic bottle. The Ballyduff man as busy as any player. Good puck out by Clinton, dropping aside to 45. First to react to it is a Limerick man. And that Limerick man is Maloney. He's out towards the middle of the field, drilling the ball in low, looking for Shaughnessy. Shaughnessy has it, turns Connors, but drops the ball as he turned. But the ball breaks. It could be dangerous. The ball has gone inside. What's going to happen here? Ball to Breen, takes his shot, but it goes right and it goes wide there. The ball broke to Breen.
Brilliant from Declan Prendergast.
But Declan Prendergast there, great back play by Prendergast, kept him away from goal. Breen under pressure, right and wide.
Breen had a clean shot. Declan Prendergast came, made up 2 or 3 yards on him, and just got an absolutely vital interception. Great play, Declan Prendergast.
Wide number 8 for Limerick, 18 points to 16. 23 minutes gone in the second half. Ball drops inside the 45. Dan Shanahan trying to pick it up, pushed off the ball there by Stephen Lucy, the doctor, sending it up towards Niall Moran. Niall picking it up in front of Tony Brown, and he's turned Tony Brown. Good play by the Moontour. He's going for a long one. It's going to go left. It's going to go wide. It's wide. Number 9 for the Limerick men. It's 9 wides each, but scoreboard is 18-16 in favour of Waterford.
Yeah, terrible wide there by Niall Moran, but Tony certainly looks to be out on his feet. The man is 35 years of age, 25 minutes into a second half. Mightn't be a bad idea now to bring on a fresh pair of legs, because he looks like he's out on his feet. He's given everything. Looks like he's out on his feet.
Yeah, you have Jack Kennedy and you have James Murray, so you have good cover, and Brian Phelan also in the backup. Down here on our right there, bit of off the ball down here again. And Limerick have brought on the substitute.
Yeah, another man on to try and upset John Milan, number 18, Thomas Connon. I think that's the 4th man he's marked today, and every one of them have tried to upset him, but certainly hasn't upset him so far.
So Milan himself there, and the referee there, and the umpire. But
Milan is on a yellow card too, Kieran. He needs to be careful,
And a man like Milan, because they know if they can get John's concentration upset, because John is really up for today. He's playing brilliantly from play, and he's been our chief scorer from play, 6 points from play. And obviously Conlon, the man from Knockadary, is sent on a mission.
Yeah, exactly. And the referee should know that, because it's obvious John Milan is not going to start tearing into fellas for no reason when he's playing as well as he is. He should know a fella's been brought on to him to upset him.
Of course, Waterford playing tomorrow night against Cork in the opening of the Mullerins pitch at 6:30, but tonight is all about playing Limerick here in Semple Stadium. Dan wins it from the puck out, hand passes the ball across towards Kevin Moran, a 60-40 ball, but Moran wins it. That's good determined play by Moran, swings the ball back, not sure who that one was aimed for. The man who picks it up is the Brick Walsh, and away goes the Brick, and now he's gone inside the Limerick 65, heading towards the 45, hand pass to Owen McGrath, knocked to the ground, but play on, says the referee. Tom Condon sweeps back the substitute, and Condon wins that one and wins himself a free out to the roar of the Limerick crowd. 18 points to 16, 25 minutes gone the second half, 10 minutes left. Tucky Organ is listening in. He said today it was going to be Waterford tonight. Let's hope he's right. Davy Ernge is on there as Noel Connors wins the 60-40 ball. Shaughnessy under pressure, puts it out, line ball to Waterford. Owen Kelly coming back to take it inside his own 65.
Yeah, I'm not sure where Owen Kelly is playing now. Maybe is he out midfield? Because if he's not, he shouldn't be taking this side end ball. It's you say it's inside his own 65.
Yeah, unusual to have a midfielder.
And you can see a loose man right inside, two loose Limerick men right inside.
Seems as if he's out midfield partnering Shane O'Sullivan. We'll follow the play. Not the best of line balls, trying to get it towards Dan Hurley and Jersey and everything being held there down under us, but the referee waves play on. Shane O'Sullivan goes in and tries to pick it up and does very well. Hand pass the ball away to Kevin Moran. Good bit of control by the De La Salle man. Knocked to the ground, but play on, says the referee, in front of him there as Moran rolls around in agony and he waves play on. The ball is with Seamus Hickey, drills the ball into Ollie Moran. It's Ollie Moran now and Declan Prendergast. Great play by the Ard Moorman. Back covering near the inland is Tony Brown. Great experience by Brown. Gets it back to Owen Murphy, and the medical rep sends it a good 60-70 metres, running across the other end is James Ryan. The WIT man catches, hand passes the ball away to Dennis Maloney. Maloney dispossessed by Prendergast, gets it to Milan. Milan is brought to the ground by Tom Condon. He's been at him since he came on.
That's cynical now, it's very cynical.
He's a man on a mission, but down under us here is Kevin Moran. They received a very hard tackle in front of the referee waves play on, and on the far side Milan is fouled. It's a free for Waterford. The Limerick crowd are roaring and cheering Milan, but the name of Tom Condon goes in. He's not the man of Tournina, and secretary of the football team, he's Tom Condon of Knockaderry, and he's made his name already.
You can see, I think the referee is trying to leave the game flow a bit, and to be fair to him, I would give him credit for that, but you know, unfortunately, we know we're repeating ourselves, but Waterford seem to be coming out on the wrong end of all these decisions, and I certainly think, you know, there's 2 or 3 points on the scoreboard that could be in the difference, another 2 or 3 points on the scoreboard that could be in the difference if we got the rub of the green in some of these decisions.
Hold up there, and Kevin Moran doesn't seem to be at all happy. Peter Kerwin on, Doc Higgins runs on. 30 years of service to the Waterford team, and looks like that Kevin Moran will have no part to play in this game. He's coming off. The man coming on is Jack Kennedy. Big night for Ballyduff next Saturday when they'll open the Tom Chasty Park. He's looking down, always happy to be a man from Ballyduff lower on is the great Tom Chasty, and Jack Kennedy comes on, and Kevin Moran, the sad side, see him come off in on the edge of square. Gary Horney, big day tomorrow for Abbey side, of course, the big bingo night tomorrow night with over 1100 in action with Larry Cliff and the guys for the bingo, as Owen Kelly takes his shot, and Owen Kelly sends it over the bar as Evan Moran is lifted ashore by Kerwin and Tom Higgins as Kelly gets number 10. 10 points by Kelly, stretching Waterford's lead 19 points to 16. 28 minutes gone in the second half. From the puck out, Mulcahy, the substitute for Limerick. What can he do with it? Dispossessed by Brick Walsh. And a super play by the ARB man coming up to the 65. Gives it to the Ard Moorman, Seamus Prendergast. He steadies himself, he takes his shot. That's an insurance point by the big Ard Moorman. They've played together on football fields, but on hurling fields they're equally as good. Good play by the Brick, fed it to Seamus, cool as you like, over the bar. 20 points to 16. Great score, Seamus Prendergast. Great play, Brick Walsh.
Yeah, great play, Brick and Seamus. Seamus is in centre forward. Owen Kelly looks like he's out midfield now. That could be a good decision, because he's a man who'll pick up a huge amount of ball, and he can score points for 60 or 70 yards. So the team completely reshaped at this stage. Dan on the wing and Seamus in centre forward.
Donny Ryan is the man coming on. We know Donny too well from his exploits in Croke Park 2 years ago. The man coming off is Andrew O'Shaughnessy. We'll follow the play. Big call by Justin, but Donny is getting his chance from the puck out. Declan Prendergast wins it, sends it back with interest. Looking for John Milan there. Milan is fouled. And this man, number 18, Tom Condon, the man with a mission from Knockaderry, and the Waterford crowd just loving it there. Milan just punching the air. Is that man happy, and why wouldn't he be? He's given an exhibition of forward play. Thankfully, as you say, Fergal, when you get under John Milan, it only does one thing. It really makes him more focused. Yeah,
John Milan has scored 6 points from play here, and he's won probably 3, maybe 4 frees at this stage that Owen Kelly's put over. So he's a direct contribution to this game of possibly up as much as 10 points. An absolutely exhibition of corner forward play.
Half an hour gone, 5 minutes to go as Owen Kelly prepares to take the free. Benz lifts and strikes and sends it into the town end. Number 11 for Kelly. We're running out of paper here for this man, but we don't mind. It's 21 points to 16, a 5 points lead, but 5 minutes to go, and a goal could turn this game on its head. Fergal.
Absolutely. But we're 5 points up, 5 minutes to go, playing with the breeze. You'd be hopeful we would win this game.
Time ticks down from the puck out. It's a case of who's first to react. There's 2, 3, 4 players around the 65. Seamus Prendergast going in to try and get a touch with. The man who picks it up is Owen Foley, the substitute. Gets it back to Brian Geary. Well blocked down by Seamus Prendergast. Ball breaks to Seamus Hickey. He could put it over from the middle of the field, but instead he drops it in. He's looking for Breen inside. It's Breen and Murphy. The tall and the short. Breen has gone forward. This could be dangerous. The big number 24 has it. Oh, well saved by Clinton Hennessy there. Breen got away from Murphy. He was striding forward. Murphy looked to be looking at a goal behind him, and instead out came Clinton Hennessy. Brave save by Clinton. 65 let off for Waterford.
Well, let off for Waterford, and we have criticised the referee, but Breen was being held going in there as well, and there was a real goal opportunity. And he's a big man, this David Breen. He's a bit scrawny looking, doesn't look too strong, but I tell you, he's a handful, and he's certainly got a height advantage on Owen Murphy.
So 65, the man to take it. He's wearing 31, but he's a blood jersey on. He's Brian Geary, the Harty Cup special from St. Flans. He's dropping it in, he's looking for a goal. Breen is going high. Has Breen held on to it? Went off a Waterford defender, I think. Yes, it did. I think it's the stick of Michael Brick Walsh there, but out for a 65. But again, Geary, obviously they're looking for that goal, Fergal.
They're looking for the goal. The clock is reading almost 32 minutes, so realistically of normal time there's only 3 minutes left. There'll probably be 1 or 2 minutes of injury time as well, but I certainly think Limerick at this stage, going for goals.
They've played 6 times in this decade. In 01 Waterford were beaten. In 03 Waterford drew and beat him in a replay. In 07 Waterford beat him in the Munster final. In 07 Limerick beat Waterford. So it's 3 each, 2 draws, 2 victories each, and 2 draws, as the 65 is taken by Niall Moran, and it goes right and it goes wide. Andrew O'Shaughnessy come back.
Yeah, and big relief there for Waterford, because that'll run down the clock a little bit now. We're almost into 33 minutes, and certainly laid off from Waterford. Limerick really needed a score from that. Hopefully we have enough on the board now to see this game out. Time
ticks down, 32 and a half minutes. Waterford urging the support, urging their players on as James Murray warms up the Talaman. We've already won Talaman man on. That's Aidan Carney. I'm sure Tony O'Brien will be happy to see a second one come on from the puck out, plucked out of the air by Lucy, gets his clearance in. It's not a long one, dropping aside the 45. The man who picks it up, Brick Walsh. Great play by the man from Carrigahilla. Good play by Brick. Gets it on to Seamus Prendergast. Seamus from inside the 65 goes for a long one. That's a great score by Seamus Prendergast. Number 3 for Prendergast. Again, it was Brick Walsh set it up, and the man who finished it, the big man from Ardmore with the red helmet, as did some of the Limerick supporters down in the town end, make their way to the exits. It's 22-16, 33 minutes gone. Gary Hurney on the edge of the square inside. Prendergast takes it long, going for number 4. This time it's dropping short. This time it's gone over the bar. Thought it was dropping short. Number 4, Hurney was waiting aside, and the big Abbeyside man, of course, big day in Abbeyside tomorrow with the annual book fair in Abbeyside for a fundraiser for Scoilwira, and the alma mater of Gary Hurney will be delighted to see Waterford make it through, because it's 23-16. Fergal.
Yeah, fantastic stuff by Seamus Prendergast. That's the insurance point. This game is home and dry now. There's only a minute and a half left, and 7 points up.
What we're seeing now is a standing ovation for one. T. Brown made his debut here back in 92, bouncing off. He's given it everything. And great to see Fergal. Standing ovation.
Fantastic. Fully deserved.
Tony comes off. What a performance. Cat in the back by Peter Queally. 34 minutes gone. We're into the last minute. The man coming on is James Murray. The engineer won't leave the side down. Murray with the puck out. That's Brian Murray. Out towards the middle of the field. Ball breaks down towards Dan Shanahan. Dan gives it back to Declan Prendergast. Lovely bit of play. All on, looking for Jack Kennedy in space. Jack 25 metres out now. The Ballyduff lower man turns to his left, takes his shot, looks a good one. Oh, that's some score by the man from Ballyduff lower. They're opening the Tom Chasty Park next Saturday with the 7 aside. They'll like to see scores like that, and Chasty will be proud of that one, Fergal.
Yeah, everything going right for Waterford now. They're really on top.
24 points to 16, really starting to pull away. Justin stands motionless. Davy likewise, just aside the Waterford 45, about 25 metres between the managers, but there's 8 points between the teams. Ball from the puck out there. There's a man down injured. I think it's James Ryan is down on the 45. Don't think it's too serious, but Fergal, we're really taking our scores. It's about taking scores, but the scores we've seen, the class of the scores, Kelly, Milan and Prendergast, super scores.
Absolutely. I know we're again probably repeating ourselves, but Seamus Prendergast has had a huge impact in this game. Waterford have scored 24 points. Criticised last week for a very low score of 11 points. To be fair to him, it was out of character. Over the last 5 or 6 years, Waterford have always put up big scores, and again putting up 24 points today. Very good performance overall.
James Ryan is okay, the WI team, and the time ticks down. There's 35 minutes gone. Wherever you listen to us on the internet, the Paddy Mescal in London, I know he's listening. Noel Merlin down in New South Wales, and to all the gang, Pat Whelan in New York, they must be happy with the scoreline. Time ticking down. Tom Doyle is a big day for Chernobyl tomorrow, and Frankie Walsh is the guest of honour in Tallow tomorrow evening at 4 in the Corner House. He was the captain 50 years ago. I'm sure he's here tonight, and he'll be happy to see Waterford go back into a Munster final once again in this decade. They were in the final of 02, 03, 04 and 07, and within a few minutes time they'll be back in the final of 09, a free to Limerick. Niall Moran is taking it. Is he going to blast it? But instead he takes his shot, sends it over the bar. Number 5 for Moran, as the Limerick support make their way to the exits. 24 points to 17. Time, we're in injury time. And looking down here, Justin still standing motionless. Davy looks the happier of the two, but it's into the qualifiers for Limerick. For Waterford, it's a Munster final in 3 weeks' time against Tipper, against Clare. But the main thing is they're back in a Munster final. The disappointment of last weekend has been put behind by Davy. Found the puck out, snapped out here brilliantly by Gary Hurling. 30 metres out, dragged to the ground by the doctor. He's the UCC man. And Gary might need a doctor after that one, because Lucy just dragged him to the ground, free and 30 metres out. Great to see Hurney going high and holding. There's no better man in the air than Hurney.
Yeah, he's a huge man, Gary Hurney, and very powerful under the high ball. And to be fair, the game is over now. Won a great ball, but he won some brilliant balls earlier on in the game as well.
So Owen Kelly prepares to take it. What an evening he's had. He's lining up the three. He's 30 metres out. There's almost 37 minutes gone. Time ticks down. Owen taking his time with this one. From a proud family. His mum Joan Shanahan, of course, his dad Dando Kelly, and Owen now parading his talents for Passage as he sends it over the bar. Number 12 for the man from Passage, his father-in-law John Carey had a landslide victory, and Waterford now going to 125 points to 17. Murray with the puck out. Time ticks down. The men in blue and white, the supporters ready to run on as Limerick take a quick puck out towards the middle of the field. Ball taken in control by Paul Brown, quiet in the second half. Dispossessed by Jack Kennedy. Jack sends it across straight into the hand of Geary, the centre back. He sends it long first time to Davy Breen. The tall Breen flicks the ball ahead straight into the path of Mulcahy, the substitute. Dispossessed by Shane O'Sullivan. Back comes the man from Ballygunner. That's good play by Sully. Picked up and said by Michael Brickwalsh, who's in to help inside his own 45. Referee blows his whistle. It's all over, it's all over. And Waterford are back in the Munster final. Back once again in the Munster final after a 2-year break. Runaway victory in the end. There's 25 points to 17. Ken McGrath stands up out of the dugout with his crutches. Kenny goes over and hits Ken. Ken had an inspirational few words with the lads before the game. It definitely rubbed off. Fergal, great to be back in the Munster final, and definitely put the Ghosts of last weekend well behind us. 25 points to 17.
Yeah, absolutely, and you can see from the performance the Waterford lads were very hurt by all the criticism they got in the media during the week, and to be fair, they dished up a first class performance. Back to what we did best. 25 points on the board. Great scores from all ranges, from John Milan, Seamus Prendergast, Owen Kelly, and certainly on that form, we'll be confident going into a Munster final. Certainly last week, was certainly a downbeat feel in the county about the prospects of the team, but I think they'll be very much buoyed up by that performance, and we'll be able to go into a Munster final now with confidence, no matter who it is. I think it's going to be Tip are going to be favourites, but we'll still be going in there confidently.
They say scores win matches, while the backs took the plaudits last week, and definitely the forward, but the work ethic right throughout the team, and indeed the substitutes that came on, and the loss of Steve Malumphey could have been devastating. The loss of Ken McGrath before the throw in, but definitely all was put aside by the players. See Pat McGrath down there, dad of Ken and Owen, of course, tapping Owen or Tony Brown on the back, because my God, did Brown do his stuff.
Yeah, Tony Brown again was fantastic today. We've said it so many times. Man, going on 36 years of age, gave an exhibition of back play, and just shows how valuable he is to this team. And maybe they may be looking at him as a 50-minute man or a 60-minute man from now on. Maybe he's not the full 70 minutes, but by God, when he's on that field, he contributes so much to this team.
The Waterford crowd gather around below, and of course Brick Walsh really came into it in the second half. People questioned his selection as centre back, but really making number 6 his own.
Yeah, a fantastic second half performance in particular, and not only commanding in centre back, but driving forward with the ball as he does so well, and setting up scores. He set up 2 or 3 great scores directly from bursting out with the ball and hand passing the ball off.
the players being surrounded by the support. In fairness, you mentioned it earlier there, you really had the true supporters this evening, because a lot of downbeat attitude all week in Waterford, a lot of knockers out there, but really the true supporters. See George Young down there and a gang from Old Parish, but the really true supporters were here this evening to support the boys.
And they did, and they came up and they were very, very vocal as well. You know, there was only, I reckon there was less than 15,000 here, but the crowd that were here, they really enjoyed the match and they were very, very vocal, and they gave the Waterford team great support, and they deserve it, Kieran, because okay, they were bad last week, it was a bad game, but this team has served up some great hurling for this county over the last 10 years.
Some great scores in the second half, particularly from play.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure how many we got from frees, but certainly we must have got 15 or 16 points from play. And John Milan was absolutely on fire. I mean, he did what he did against Clare last year. We said that he should have got an All-Star for that. Joe Canning got it for one game. I mean, John Milan's name must be on that team sheet now already this early in the year. But fantastic. I mean, that's, you know, absolutely textbook corner forward play. Every time he got the ball, rounded his man and put it over the bar.
The work ethic was really exemplified, I think, by Shane O'Sullivan in the middle of the field. Battled hard all through and really was rewarded with a fantastic point in the second half.
Yeah, and as I said, he's one of the unsung heroes of this team. He battles so hard and gets in a huge amount of work and breaks ball for other players as well, and he had a fine game today, and I think he's bedded down that midfield spot for himself, and I think he'll be looking forward now with confidence to the rest of this year. And the important thing as well, Kieran, about today's result is we're in a Munster final, but we're also guaranteed that quarter-final final spot, so you'd hope that we'll either win a Munster final or at least get back to an All-Ireland semi-final again, and that'll certainly be the year redeemed for us.
I see Tom Higgins gone in there, but I see Jim D, the team secretary, Roger Casey, the work these men put in, and Roger's wife Kay, the huge work that goes in behind the scene. It's a real team effort, and indeed everyone involved with the team are delighted with this result, because they shifted a lot of criticism last weekend, but my God, they answered the critics this evening.
To answer the critics, as you say, it's not just the players who go out in the field, it's the whole backroom team, all the subs, the whole setup was being questioned, and I think, you know, the players will be delighted to have got this opportunity to put it right, and when they got that opportunity they took it.
What do you think was the ingredient that was different? I know the conditions are different, the playing conditions, but what do you think was the big difference in our performance?
Well, like the performance last week, I mean, from both teams, couldn't have been a great performance in that weather. I mean, even if both teams had played well, I think the best they would have had on the scoreboard was maybe 15 or 16 points at best, because the conditions were so bad. And as we mentioned, Jamie Nagle was talking to you during the week and he could barely hold the hurley in his hand when he was swinging it. But I do think what happens in games, Kieran, is that Limerick got a goal, the momentum came with him, and that's very, very hard to break sometimes, and people don't consider it. They just look at the mistakes Waterford made, but it was very, very hard to break that momentum. I think Waterford got their chance today, they never left Limerick back into it, and you know, they showed a kind of performance. I mean, there was people questioning, are they gone past it, have they too many miles in the clock, have they got the hunger, and I think they got their answer today.
Now we're back in the Munster final. As I said, you were there in 02 when we made the breakthrough. 03 the disappointment against Cork. 04, who'll ever forget the great game, winning over Cork. Then 07 against Limerick. We're back in a Munster final. What does that mean to the players and to Waterford?
Look, I mean, Kieran, if you go back to, it was, you say, 02, it had been 1989 prior to that before we even contested the Munster final, you know, and it was 39 years before we actually won one. So, I mean, Munster finals is what these guys would have grown up on. It's the game they want to be in. I mean, Munster final, okay, very disappointing crowd here today, but I would expect there'll be a full house for a Munster final. And look, based on that performance there today, we've no reason to go into a Munster final, be it against Tip or Clare, fear neither of them. Because if we can play like that, I mean, we could have had a goal, maybe 2 goals, and if we had 225, I mean, that would be a very, very impressive score and a very impressive performance. So I don't think we have anybody to fear when we go into a Munster final, and we will be underdogs, particularly if it's Tipperary. If it's Clare, we'll probably be favourites. If it's Tip, which I expect it will, we'll be underdogs, and we always do better when we're underdogs.
And would you feel the pressure will be on Tip, because it looks like, and all the experts are saying Tip should win tomorrow? You never know with Clare, but if it is Tip and Waterford, definitely the pressure will be on Tip to perform. They're the reigning champions, and of course Waterford caught them last year in Croke Park.
Absolutely, and they had a great year last year, and there is this, you know, second year syndrome, as they call it, you know, whereby a team is expected to do well in the second year and they find it hard to live up to the expectations that were created the year before. So I think Tip might suffer a little bit from that this year, and Waterford will be going in with they'll play with a little bit of abandon, nothing to lose. If they're beaten in a Munster final, it won't be a massive shock. They'll go in with nothing to lose, and I think you'll see, you know, again, players like Milan, Kelly and all those just playing with a little bit of abandon and, you know, hopefully turn out the right result. If you were picking a man of the match, I know it's difficult to single out any one person, but who would you be giving your man of the match toward? You know, I think it's obvious. You couldn't pick John Milan. I mean, an absolutely exhibition of corner forward play. I mean, there was hardly a ball went into his corner that he didn't do something positive with. 6 points from play, and as I say, I'm not sure how many frees he won, but must have won at least 3 that Owen Kelly tipped over. His contribution, a direct contribution to the team, was somewhere between 9 and 10 points. Absolutely fantastic contribution.
great to see the blue and white jerseys back in Croke Park, or back in Semple Stadium after a match last Sunday. Of course, with conditions weren't conducive. But when you see the people staying on, having the chat about the game, that tells its own story.
Yeah, and it shows just how much hurling means to the supporters that came here today. They're really, I suppose, buoyed up by this result, and rightly so. And hopefully for the Munster final, the team now will get the support they deserve.
I see Betty down there, Auntie Betty, as she's known, Owen and Ken's auntie, never misses a game. Of course, I see earlier on crutches, Anne McGrath, she's in crutches, Ken is in crutches, so the McGrath family, it's a great boost for them as well, because they're a family that live and eat hurling.
Absolutely, but it looks like Ken is going to miss the Munster final at this stage, which is obviously from his perspective going to be a huge disappointment, and it will be Ken McGrath not being in the team will be a huge disadvantage for Waterford going into the Munster final, because apart from how he plays, he's a leader in the dressing room, he's a leader in the team, he gives inspiration to the team, and he's an important figure. Without Ken McGrath, we won't be as good a team, but I think, as was seen today, anybody who came in his place certainly won't let Waterford down.
Okay, John. John, what a difference a week makes. 6 points there in the personal performance, but a great team performance by yourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose we couldn't be much worse than we were last week, so the only way from last week was upwards,
There was a great second half performance this week, and a lot of critics last week said that you failed in the second half, but you drove forward, and particularly in the last 15 minutes you looked outstanding.
Yeah, I suppose, look, conditions were dreadful last week for both teams, and that wasn't us out there last week, and we proved it out there in the first half and second half. We drove on.
You had a lot of different individual markers today. You seem to take care of all of them, both physically, but more importantly, 6 points in a semi-final replay is a fantastic individual performance. You must be very pleased with your own performance.
Yeah, I am, but can't take away. It's about a team performance at the end of the day, and I can't put the ball over the bar or put the ball in the back of the net unless the ball is coming into me. And the lads were outstanding outside me today.
So now the Munster final, Clare or Tipperary? Any preference?
Well, we don't really mind. It's the monkey off the back now. There was a bit of pressure coming into that game. So the pressure's off now, and we're going to the Munster final now, nice and relaxed.
Thanks very much. Best of luck in it.
Thanks very much.
Well, Davey, second week playing in Limerick, but much better result for you this week.
Yeah, we got the win. That's the most important thing. We still have aspects we have to improve on, so we do. But it's great to win and get back to another Munster final. I suppose a lot of people said after the last day that the winners of tomorrow's semi-final win the Munster Championship, but we'll turn up and see what happens anyhow.
You looked to be dominant in many parts of the field today. At midfield, Shane Sullivan was very good. Seamus Fitzpatrick up front was very good, but John Milan was excellent throughout.
Yeah, I thought there was different fellas got stick last week and I couldn't understand it. Shane Sullivan played all right last week and people were on his back. I think he showed him today. Sully's a good midfielder, a good worker, and you have to lay off fellas a small bit, give them a chance, and you won't be good every day you go. We were okay today, we worked hard, but I know we'll still need to improve. That's being honest about it. We know that we're going to have to improve big time if we're to win a Munster Championship.
So what's happening now? Tomorrow you'll be at the game and watch it and then get your charges ready for the final?
Yeah, I'll probably go and look at it tomorrow, but we're after picking up a savage amount of injuries. We've Ken McGrath, Steve Malumphey looks in big trouble, Kevin Moran looks in big trouble. We're looking like 3 or 4 guys that would be big players in our team are in trouble. So the good thing was today we had lads to come on. The thing I have said all year about Waterford is we have strength and depth in our panel, and I'd like to think we used that today fairly all right, and it was great to see the lads come on doing well, and that's what it's all about, is a bit of competition for places.
Well done today and the best luck in the Munster final. Thanks, Davey. Well, Justin, a very disappointing day, your second day out. What do you think went wrong for you today?
Well, in fairness, it was a good hard game. It was tough exchanges there. I suppose looking at Waterford got chances and took the chances, and we were struggling with some, chances that we had for the taking, but didn't go over the bar and so on. And as the game was going on, they could sense that. An experienced team can sense that, and they just moved on another gear then, and we were just, on the back foot really.
In the second half, you brought it back to 1 point, then they stretched it to 3, and that happened on a couple of occasions, and then they just took off. But David Breen had a goal-scoring opportunity. Was that critical?
Well, every chance at that stage was important because, we were kind of fighting from behind all the time, and it was important to get any score at that stage. So when it didn't occur, naturally enough, it was a bit of a blow, but we just couldn't take those long-range points, and we thought we might be able to get a few over, but as the game was going on, they were getting stronger, and obviously they sensed it.
It's now the qualifiers. How do you prepare for those?
Yeah, well, Limerick is going through kind of a transition period, I would say, because we're introducing new players as we go along and trying to blend players as well, and that's important. So I think the experience that they got the last 2 Sundays will stand to them, and I hope that we get a run in the championship, obviously, and we just have to knuckle down to it and put it behind us and put our best foot forward.
Thanks very much, Justin. Thank you.